surprise? The off-roader has evolved with hybrid power while inheriting its legendary toughness. Ready for a surprise? The off-roader has evolved with hybrid power while inheriting its legendary toughness.
مسقط أرينا هنا في OIDC. دايغو سايتو من اليابان يستعد لينافس في أول نزالاته في أول مشاركاته. سيتقدم هنا على هذا المسار في أول الجولات التأهيلية. من 62 بطل 32 فقط سيتأهلون اليوم غد. سنبدأ وإياكم في الجولات التأهيلية. لجنة التحكيم مستعدة، ستتابع التفاصيل، ستسجل النقاط، ستسجل الأخطاء والمخالفات ليتأهل فقط من يستحق التأهل. وقف أحمد حام على بوديوم الجولة الأولى هنا قبل أسبوعين. من سيقف على بوديوم الجولة الثانية غدا؟ هل سيحتفظ بها أحمد حام؟ هل سيتقدم علي مقصيد ليقول أنا حامل لقب العام الماضي؟ هل سيتقدم العامري ويقول هذا مكاني وأنا الذي سأخذ المركز الأول على المنصة؟ أم سنشاهد مفاجآت جديدة؟ سنتابع وإياكم مجريات هذه البطولة بدءا من هذه اللحظة وحتى مساء يوم غد. ليلتين رياضيتين حماسيتين تمتلئان بالتحديات، تمتلئان بالإثارة، تمتلئان بالبطولة. سنتابعهم وإياكم. أهلا وسهلا بكم جميعا، وننتظر إشارة الانطلاق لأول السيارات، لأول الأبطال، لأول المتسابقين. دايغو سايتو من اليابان على بداية المسار.
So let's see, does Daigo just send it, or does he want to just go back and warm them up? I think he is going to go back and warm them up. Yeah, it just makes sense. Some of Daigo's talent understands, you know, you need warm tyres, especially them fronts when you're going in. Now he's just going to just tip back to the burnout box there, and then we will be sending our first car very, very soon. But yeah, crazy night ahead of us, and the drivers grid that's on this list in front of me is just insane. A few new drivers joining the grid, and then a lot of legends who were here a couple of weeks ago in Muscat. Yeah, look how aggressive. No, I'm going to say it straight out, I'm not a big Corvette guy, okay? That's my personal opinion, don't attack me. But damn, that one looks cool now, I must admit. The big wing on the back, that's just the game changer for me. Okay, so we have Daigo Saito on the line. Can't believe I'm saying them words, this is so cool. Here we go, round 2. OIDC 2026 is kicking off with a bang as we see Saito coming down. Nice big weight transfer. Throwing that Corvette, looking at wide to that outer zone. Look at that. Right on the white line as he comes through now. Lining up for clip point 2, getting ready to put his front bumper on the wall, and yes he does. Flicks it back, transitioning for the first time now. Oh no! That's not what I expected to see. It's definitely not what was happening.
سيارة هنا في مسقط، وهي التجارب، ها هي الاستعدادات يا دايغو. دايغو على متن الكورفيت سي 6. ماذا يقدم؟
Hopefully them guys can get that car fixed up and get Mr. Saito back out. Daigo is a world-class driver, so I'm sure he will be able to get the job done with one run, as long as the vehicle is playing ball. Look at that, good start so far. So Daigo flying through that first section. Look at the commitment, put the front of the car right onto the concrete wall. Whatever happens here, I'm not sure, but look, we're going to go back. Yet again, that is not Danny Neville after getting 2 zeros. That is definitely Daigo Saito. But up next, it is Danny Neville in another C6 Corvette. Danny Neville making the return to OIDC. He hasn't been here in a long time. Representing Lebanon. New build, 550 brake horsepower NA V8 in this Corvette. So Danny says it works perfect. So let's see what he can do. As he flicks it in there. Nice through that first zone is Danny Neville. So we see him on the front brakes all the way around. As he tucks the back into clipping point 2. Now look at that, puts the nose to the wall. Such commitment from Danny Neville as he transitions now. Lined up for that second big long outer zone, making his way to the middle into the decel zone, slows it down on the wall. Here we go, back on the power from Danny Neville. I don't think he's took his foot off them front brakes all this lap, but he's doing a brilliant job for kicking off qualifying here and over the finish line for Danny Neville. That's not a bad run at all. He's going to be happy with that one. Danny's replay here. Nice job. See him throwing the back of the Corvette right up to them concrete walls. So we have the concrete walls back for round 2. I was questioning why they weren't at round 1, but then they landed the plane in the middle of the track, so definitely that was something to do with it, I'd say. As we get ready to head back to the start line. So on paper we should have so on paper we should have Malika Moved, but unfortunately she was having some clutch issues in practice. Obviously something is not right because she is not there, so we're going to move on to our next driver, and our next driver will be Sandra, representing Lithuania. Crazy BMW V8 turbo in this E36, loads of power, loads of go. So let's see what she can do on her first qualifying run here at round 2, as we see her absolutely destroying a set of tyres in the burnout box. So Sandra is making her way to the line. As we see all the lights flashing, the sun is set, temperatures have dropped here in Muscat. Okay, so thumbs up from the driver, thumbs up from the marshal, and away she goes. So what can Sandra do on her first qualifying run? Flames banging from the wastegate underneath that bonnet. Not too deep in the first corner. But look at the speed she is carrying through that first section as she comes in now to transition. Oh no, just all going wrong. I'm not sure if Sandra got lost in the track there. She definitely made that transition too early now. It might have been by choice. The car, what happened, I'm not 100% sure. So she hit this clip here and then took the nose onto the wall. But yeah, I think maybe Sandra might have just got a small bit lost. These Kieran Hines tracks, they're tricky ones to follow. It keeps you on your toes, so that will be a 0 from Sandra. And now we're going to move back to the line. So let's see, I'm just going to wait and see who comes out. So yeah, same again, I am locked away in my little cage here, so if someone doesn't make a qualifying run, unfortunately I have to wait until I see it on the screen to let you guys know. So up next it is Mohammed Al-Shahaksi. Let's see what he can do on his first qualifying run. Really cool PS13, look at this. First qualifying run coming up. Thumbs up from Marshall, thumbs up from the driver, and away he goes. All the pops and bangs down the straights, he throws it in, dragging a handbrake just to get that car settled. Now doing a nice job through that first zone, putting that back wheel really wide on that line as he makes his way into clipping point 2. Will he tuck the nose on the wall? Yes he does, fearlessly as he transitions now. Really fast, snappy transition. Tries to get out wide early to fill all that outer zone 3. As he makes his way through the centre into the decel zone. Oh, maybe just getting a small bit lost in his own smoke there as he washes wide now. That's 2 wheels off in the last zone. Will affect his score, but it won't be a 0, so it will be a score on the board for Mohammed. The judges this week, they have made the running a bit shorter than last week, which they think will add to better battles tomorrow night. A lot of drivers were saying it was hard to, get what gear they wanted, but that was at the start of practice. By the end of practice, nearly everyone had it dialed in. So we see Mohammed there now coming back into his smoke, and he was like, wait a minute, that's my smoke and that's a wall somewhere. What do we do? I don't know. Commitment, that's what you do.
كثيرا نهاية المسار. إذا مشاركة قوية من الفريق الليبي في IDC. تقدم IDC.
Okay, so we're going back to the line. Up next it is Andreas Pacilioskus in his BMW E92 representing Lithuania. So let's see what Pacilioskus can do on his first qualifying run here in Oman. Okay, thumbs up from the marshal and away he goes. Well, whenever he's ready he'll go, and now he does. So Pacilioskus is off for his first qualifying run. Big snappy waist transfer there. Throws it in nice and wide through that first zone. Leaving that zone a bit early is Pacilioskus. Really fast moving through this centre section as he puts them headlights right out on the wall. And we see him getting lovely and wide early, but into that second last outer zone as he comes into the decel zone now. Nice wall run there from Pacilioskus. Not too deep in that last outer zone. It's an alright run. It is fast, but definitely a lot of room for improvement. It's going to be a tough qualifying session here tonight, so I think all drivers know that. It's the 32 guys are going into tomorrow and 30 guys are going home. It's crazy to say, but that is the level of driving this year at OIDC 2026. Yeah, looking at Pacilioskus' replay there. Look at that, putting them headlights right on the wall. Nice job there. So it's 78 from Pacilioskus. And we're going to move back to the line next. Up next on paper it should be Salam Bala, representing Libya. Pretty sure it is him because I can hear the anti-lag from my room in the burnout box. That is an obnoxious sounding car, but it sounds unreal. So let's see what Salam can do on his first qualifying run. As he makes his way through the arch and out to the start line. Okay, away he goes. Salam leaves the line. Big handbrake drag, but getting it all wrong there. He's in the wrong gear. I'm not sure what happened, but he's like reinitiate halfway around the corner, so the judges will not like that one. Salam now doing whatever he can to kind of salvage the rest of this run and maybe just get some feelers down for his next qualifying run to figure out how he can improve it or what changes he can make to the car. You see him now full throttle through that decel zone, but not out to the wall like we wanted to see. Crazy sounding car, this BMW E46. But yeah, unfortunately for Salam, needs to reinitiate then, yeah, halfway around that zone, so he's borderline on a 0 or a low score. It depends on what sort of mood the judges are in, should I say. 55 for his first run, so it is a score on the board. Definitely a lot of room for improvement for Salam. Okay, so we're going to head back to the line, and up next is a man who actually finished in 4th position just 2 weeks ago here at round 1 of OIDC, and it is the one, the only Conor Shanahan, your 2025 Drift Masters champion. So we see Shanahan warming up there in the burnout box. He's in a borrowed car from the guys at NMK Performance, and I think lap by lap Conor is really settling. There was a test day last week here in Muscat, and the Shanahans both getting used to their 2 borrowed cars, and both of them looking unstoppable this morning in practice. So let's see what Conor Shanahan can do on his first qualifying run as he makes his way to the start line. Nearly identical to his own car back in Europe, but no, the steering wheel's on the wrong side. So let's see what the younger Shanahan brother can do here on his first run at OIDC round 2 qualifying. I'm excited to see this one. Him and Jack were thrown in some entries into that first corner earlier on, so big commitment expected from the start here. Conor wants to get on that podium tomorrow night, but look at him thrown in. Nice initiation from Shanahan, getting lovely and wide there through that first outer zone, filling that box all the way around. As we see him now coming through clip 2 on the front brakes, puts the bumper right to the wall. Absolutely fearless from Conor Shanahan. as he transitions now, getting lovely and wide early to get out to that second big long outer zone, filling it brilliantly as he comes in now to the decel zone, right on the wall, front and back of that car on the wall from Conor Shanahan as he comes into the last zone now, absolutely smoking this Muscat circuit out of it and over the line. That is not a bad run from Conor Shanahan. Just watch his commitment on both wall runs, front and back of the car. Absolutely fearless. Now I know it is a borrowed car, maybe that's why he's fearless, but a 92 from Conor Shanahan. So that's going to pump him really high up the order. He's going to be happy with that one. Again, I can expect something wild from the younger Shanahan on his second run, but watch this. Puts the back of the GT86 right out on the wall. Boom! Slides it through that clip, doing exactly what the judges said in the driver's briefing earlier on. Okay, so we're heading back to the line, and up next it is another international driver. It is Kevin Pisculti representing Hungary. It's crazy Nissan Silvia. Kevin putting on a show here at round one, some unbelievable chase driving from him, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do here at round two. But before we see him chase, we got to see him qualify. So Kevin leaves the line, huge weight transfer very early. Can he get into that zone? He gets halfway around it, does a good job now. Puts the foot down as he makes his way into the first clipping point, puts the front of the car right on the wall. Oh, I'm going to get so excited watching that tomorrow night as we see Kevin now doing a great job here. Putting the back wheel right on that white line as he comes into the decel zone now. Little dab of the handbrake, slows the car down, settles him, and away he goes, filling that last big long outer zone. And over the finish line. That's not a bad run from Kevin Pisculti. Just watching this replay here. Kevin doing a nice job there at clip 2, putting that back wheel right where the judges said, out to that white line and not one bit over it. So that is precision driving at its finest. Okay, so we're going to move back to the line. I'm just jumping here. Apparently there's meant to be a C6 Corvette on my screen, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, it is Ibrahim, but he's in an E46 and not a C6 Corvette, as the paper says. So Ibrahim throwing it in, getting very shallow on that first zone now. So we see him coming through the centre section. It's the front of the car right on the wall. Big, fast transition there from Ibrahim. Representing Lebanon. Doing a nice job through there. Not too deep in all the clips. He is ticking the boxes, but he's not as deep as the judges want. The judges want you really wide out to that outer line. So room for improvement, but it will be a score on the board for Ibrahim. Seem very shallow in places. 53.7, loads of room for improvement, but he will have another shot at it later on this evening here in Muscat on the second qualifying run. So we're going to head back to the line. I'm afraid to call the next driver until I physically see them on the screen, just in case. Don't want to be calling anyone the wrong name. So let's see who's next. No one, apparently. So on paper it should be Sultan Al-Bulshi. We're going to have to wait and see who comes through the arch and makes their way on the track. No one's in the burnout box though, so wonder just what's going on there. Maybe Sultan's having some sort of technical difficulties. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, so we do have a car in the box. Trying to see who it is. Oh no, that's not Sultan. So that is our next driver, which is Jihad Ali Al-Busam. So young Jihad, 13 years of age, Libya he is representing, and this kid is one to watch for the future. He just blows my mind, and then when I see him, like, he literally looks like a child in the paddock. So let's see what young Jihad can do here. As you can see in his picture, he is a kid, but he is such an aggressive driver, unbelievably built car. So let's see what Jihad does. Nice initiation there. Getting lovely into outer zone 1 as he makes his way around the first half of this circuit. Oh, bit of an understeer there or something, not sure what happened. But he gets a small bit out of sorts now, not what we were seeing from in practice. So let's see, can Jihad salvage the end of this run, try and do whatever he can. Listen to the screams of that car, unbelievable abuse as he brings it over the line. That is not the best run we've seen him do so far here today, but unfortunately that's the one that is judged. So Jihad will have one more qualifying run. I'm not sure if that run is going to be enough. No, it's a 0 for what happened here. Big straight and ended up in the wrong part of the track. 4 wheels off. 4 wheels off is a 0. That was made very clear in the driver's briefing. So Jihad has a lot of work cut out for him on the second run, but look, he's only 13. We'll give him a chance. Right, back to the line, and up next it is the first of our Fresh X Crazy Build Z's, and this one is Deir Idulion. So let's see how Deir gets on his first qualifying run. These Fresh XCs, man, they're unbelievably built cars. Keep saying that every time they come on track, but just the workmanship that's in them is just insane. So Deir is making his way to the start line. What can he do on his first qualifying run here in the beautiful Muscat Drift Arena? Deir waits to get the thumbs up from the marshal, and we will get this qualifying run underway.
سنشاهد هل سيتأهل دمير في هذه الليلة؟ هل سيكون على قدر هذا التأهل قدر الجمعة؟ هل سينافس ويقدم كما قدم في الأسبوع الماضي؟
Okay, thumbs up from the marshal, and Deir leaves the line for his first qualifying run. Screens this car as he makes his way down the straight. Nice initiation. Big weight transfer, exactly what the judges want to see. Minimal handbrake, use the snap to get on angle. Now Deir doing a great job through this first section on the front brakes. Tucks his nose right on the wall. As we see him now on the front brakes, stomping there to get the back of that car out nice and wide into the zone. Does it near perfectly as he makes his way through the centre for the last time. Transitions out to the wall. It's not a bad run from Deir as he comes into the last outer zone, really wide, pushing it and bringing it over the finish line. That's a good run there from the Fresh X driver. That's not a bad run at all. Very similar to Conor Shanahan's run, so I think this one might be scored high. But don't take my word for it. Nah, 86.7. That's not a bad run at all. So we're going to get ready to go back to the line, and up next it is Mohammed Al-Muzani representing Saudi Arabia. This is one of the craziest BMW E92s I've ever seen in my life. V8 supercharged, just crazy power, crazy noise out of this car. And a crazy driver as well. Mohammed putting some good runs in practice, so let's see, can he do it here tonight, get the job done, secure a spot in that top 32. Huge weight transfer, but did he do it too early? He did! And did I come in with the commentator's curse? Oh, Mohammed just getting it all wrong. Just looked like from the replay he might have flicked that car just a small bit early. Yeah, well too early, ends up the inside of the track, tries to correct it, and then it all just goes wrong from there. Oh, it's so unfortunate, especially when you see a guy doing well in practice and then it comes down to the 2 runs. And then, unfortunately, the ones that count don't play ball. But that is the world of drifting. So, back to the line we go. And we are going to see the second Shanahan brother hit the track up. It is Jack Shanahan. Jack getting 3rd place at round 1, beating his brother Connor in the 3rd, 4th place playoff. So let's see what Jack Shanahan can do here in this insane S15, this James Dean built S15. Drove by Chris Brady here at OIDC last year. Shanahan's jumping in behind the wheel this year. So let's see how he can get on his first qualifying run. And man, Jack was doing some wild stuff in practice earlier. Now I don't know if he was just pushing the limits, but he was doing these backwards entries into the first corner and onto the rear wall run. Man, every time he did it, he had me jumping up and down and screaming. So I'm super excited to see what Shanahan does here. Jack, a world-class driver, well able to secure a win at any event. So let's see how he gets on his first qualifying run. Throwing it in, huge angle from Shanahan, out nice and wide, filling that zone. He says he's so much more comfortable in this car than round 1. As we watch him coming through now, getting ready, put the front of it on the wall. Nice job there from Jack Shanahan with a huge, fast, snappy transition, pushing wide early, getting out and filling that second long outer zone as he makes his way into the centre decel zone. Nice snap along the wall, locks the front brakes there from Jack Shanahan as he puts the wheel right on the white line and brings it out wide and over the finish. That's a good run there for Jack Shanahan. Shanahan brothers definitely came to play this season of OIDC. They want to win. These guys are winning all over the world, so why would they not want to win here, you know? There you have it, 91.7. So his little brother Connor got a 92, so Jack got a 91. Similar runs from the Shanahans. Right, we're going back to the line, and up next it is Andreas Lia representing Sweden in his beautiful Mark IV Toyota Supra. And this car, when you look under the bonnet of it, the workmanship in it is just crazy. Andreas, his team, all of them such nice guys. They're happy to be back here in Oman. He hasn't had the best luck. The car let him down. He wasn't here last year, he was here 2 years ago. The car really let him down. He had a lot of problems with it, so he says he's back with a better car this year, and we are super excited to see what he can do on the first qualifying run here at OIDC. Concentration in his eyes. What can Andreas do here on his first qualifying run? Nice initiation, really wide from the start of that zone. Absolutely smoking them rear tyres through that first corner. So we see him now hitting that second clipping point, tucks the nose right on the wall for the third one. Was there contact with the wall there? I'm not sure, but he was very close now. As we see him coming nice and wide, filling that next zone perfectly near again. Into a wall run. Andreas with the best wall run probably so far tonight. The speed and aggression there as he threw it along, coming through that last corner now and bringing it over the line. That's not a bad run. Let's watch this wall run again. The first one, I don't know if he made contact or not, so I'm going to be really studying it hard. Watch. Camera changes. Dish. That was very close, that was. That's probably too close for comfort. So the judges did say a risk reward, so hopefully he gets rewarded for that. But look at that, bang! Throws that Toyota Supra right out there, nice and wide along the concrete wall. Fearless, if you ask me. So let's see what way the judges score this one. Or maybe we won't. So up next it is Riyad Al-Muzani. Crazy S14, but oh no, Riyad unfortunately getting it all wrong there from the start. Screams of the supercharger on that Silvia. Now Riyad's just trying to figure out the grip levels. So if you're a fan of OEDC, you'd know we always call them the forever changing grip levels. So I was talking to a lot of drivers. Practice was early this morning, and then there was a big break. Then they said to go back in the afternoon, and it's a completely different track. Everything they learned this morning is gone because temperatures just dropped, the track cools. and the grip levels are always changing, so let's see how drivers will get around that one. But yeah, see that there, a big straight there from Riyad. Unfortunately, that will be a 0 from him. Okay, so Moya's replay there. We are going to head back to the line. So on paper, it should be a Latvian driver, Artis Miskis, in his BMW E36. Yes, it is. Artis throwing it in there, pushing a little bit wide, dropping 2 wheels in that first zone. Gets the car back in position, and a little bit wide there. Wheel drop at clipping point 2, but he is super fast around this track. But that car just washing a bit too much on him. Did a very good job there. Had to stall up the car to try and keep it on track. So we see him now transitioning through the decel zone. Nice run here from Artis as he brings it over the line. Just, yeah, again, looks like a lad that maybe has been caught by the grip levels. That car looks a bit wishy-washy, if you ask me, in places, so he probably had the same setup he would have had this morning and then come back and went, what? This track's completely different. 42 for him. Loads of room for improvement. Okay, so we're going to go back to the line up next. Should be another Latvian driver, Alvarez Lekinis. Another BMW E36. Let's see what Alvarez can do on his first qualifying run. Screams the V8 as he makes his way down the straight. Wide initiation, and then brings him to the centre of the track, nearly missing all that first outer zone. So can he get it back on track now as he makes his way into the first wall run with the front of the car? Nice job there. See him on the front brakes trying to slow that car down, bring it back through the centre section, through his own smoke, out to the wall. That was a nice bit there for him. So we see him come through that last zone now. Alves brings it over the line. Yeah, see there now, just one wheel off there, and then he shot inside the track, so he's kind of in and out that zone. Judges won't want that. They want you filling the zone from start to finish. And Alves does a good job here. Not too deep there in that zone. Nice wall run section though, to be fair. Credit due. But yeah, right, we're going to go back to the line, and up next it is our third Latvian driver, the one, the only, Edgars Kus, in one of the nicest F22 BMWs. Edgars, an OIDC veteran at this stage, and he's doing a nice job there in the kebab fighter. Bringing it through that first corner, very fast. Listen to the screams of this car. V8 absolutely singing underneath the bonnet of that.
بالسلامة والتوفيق لسعيد الصالح. إذا نشاهد هذه الصورة الجوية لمنطقة الصيانة أو الوكيل، وها هم الأبطال يصطفون يستعدون ينتظرون إشارة الانطلاق. نشاهد سيارة نصر آلية تقف إلى يسار سيارات الأبطال. هل سيتقدم نصر آلية أم أن هناك ما يمنع دخوله إلى منطقة الإحماء والاستعداد؟ ها هو نصر آلية يتقدم إلى منطقة الإحماء ليبدأ بإحماء الإطارات. يلا جرافي حبيبي، هذا العرض ونشاهدها تزين.
An interesting technique is what I will say this is, but every man does it different. So we see him just pushing the front of the car, scrubbing them front tyres, trying to get some heat in there. Definitely want grip in them front tyres when you throw it in, so committed to that first corner here in Oman. Okay, so Nasir making his way to the start line. What can the Jordan driver do? He gives a thumbs up anyways, that's a good start. Okay, so away he goes for his first qualifying run. Screams at his car as he makes his way down. Zero throwing it in. Nice job there through that first one. Not too deep, but very, very fast. He is 2 wheels in it though. So judges did say they wanted 2 wheels from start to finish in that zone. Not too deep on the wall, but he's ticking all the boxes. Can he keep it in between the white lines? Unfortunately not. Drops possibly 1, maybe 2 wheels there on the second outer zone as he comes back to flick it for the wall. Nice snap to the wall, but oh no, unfortunately he's not able to hold it. Just that car washing a bit too much and out wide. As you hear, the anti-lag still turned on and it stopped in one spot. I'm not sure what happened there. He is moving alright, he is coming off the circuit, so it will be a 0 unfortunately for Nasir. Just something looking wrong in front of that E36, not steering how he wanted. I don't think it did, but up next it is his teammate, also from Jordan. It is Anas Al-Hilal, E46 BMW, full concentration mode. Really cool looking car. I like the livery and the look of this BMW. So let's see what Anas can do on his first qualifying run. We are flying through, nearly halfway already. And then we start from the bottom and go again. Anti-lag switched on and away Anas goes for his first qualifying run. Huge weight transfer, throwing it in nice and early there. Gets out lovely and wide through that first zone. Doing a good job now as he pushes through that first corner out to the clipping point 2. Tucks the nose right to the wall. Such commitment there. Snappy fast transition. This man definitely was listening in driver's briefing. As we see him lovely and wide early, filling all that zone and getting ready to enter the decel zone. And back on the power. That's a nice job from Anas. Oh no, just washing a small bit too wide coming in there. Seen a lot of drivers do the same thing, which tells me, you know, might be a little bit less grip there than they were expecting, or what they probably had in practice earlier on. So good run from Anas. He gets a 70, so it is a score on the board. Room for improvement, but he'd be happy with that one. You see his bootleg come off halfway around. I thought I did see that, and then I went, nah, surely a bootleg just didn't randomly fly off a car. Oh, yes it did. Ejecto bootleg, cuz. Okay, we're heading back to the line, and it is another female driver representing Ireland. It is Adrianne Wheatley, in probably one of the nicest PS13s ever in the world, if you ask me. This car is just unbelievable. The level that it's finished to, savage. candy red paint job, just flexing cause she can. So let's see what Adrianne can do here at round 2 of OIDC. Putting some good runs in practice, so I'm excited to see this one. Nice initiation from Adrianne, pushing lovely and wide from the start, filling that zone. Oh, maybe just washing one wheel too wide, but look at the smoke bellowing from the back of this PS13 as she comes through now. Puts the front bumper fearlessly on the wall. Such commitment from Adrianne Wheatley as we see her now. Nice on the front brake, slows that car down lovely, filling that next outer zone. And she comes through, clipping that cone, maybe just going a small bit wide at the end. Not too deep on the wall, but can she salvage the end of this run? Doing a nice job there now through that last zone, and she brings it over the line. Nice run there from Adrianne Wheatley. One or two little things in it, but everyone's kind of doing the same thing. I think the grip levels have changed that much since practice that it's catching a lot of people out. So look at this, putting it right on the wall there, nearly fearlessly. That's some driving from her. What a girl, huh? 67.7, so room for improvement, but she knows that herself, and she is well capable of getting up that order. She wants to make it into the top 32. I think we want to see her there too. She's a really good driver, such a nice girl. But yeah, we're going back to the line, and up next it is a man that wasn't at round 1. One of our Shahani brothers. It is Ali Shahani, or as he's known, and it says it at the back of his car, Bazooka. Now you might wonder why it says Bazooka. Well, just listen to this. This thing is obnoxious, a pig. It's a bit like myself, and I kind of love it, but it looks so hard to drive. So let's see what Ali can do here. Smoke, bang, screams, V8, absolutely everything bar tears through that first corner. As we see him now doing a nice job there, Ali putting it out to the wall. The floor is shaking underneath my feet from that car, and he's not even near this side of the track. Insane from Shahani as he comes through now, back out to the wall. Listen to the screams from the Bazooka as he fills that last outer zone and brings it over the line. Pops, bangs, smoke, everything. It had it all. Ali Al-Shahani, one half of our Shahani brothers. First one out, on track. But yeah, not a bad run from Ali. I say it every year, this thing, I don't know if he's driving that or it's driving him, but he did a good job to hold it there. A 71, he's going to be delighted with that. Room for improvement on the second one, but he'll know where he can tidy it up, and obviously he needs to find a bit more grip in the back of that S15. But yeah, Bazooka not doing a bad job at all here at round 2 of OIBC. Okay, we're back on the line, and it is Khalifa Al-Hashi, 17 years of age, representing the UAE. This young man has just got so comfortable in this car over the last 2 years. He's consistently driving, and you know what? It's good to see it paying off. Seat time is king in this world of drifting. So let's see what young Khalifa can do here. Throwing it in. Nice initiation. Filling that outer zone so fast there from Khalifa, smoking them rear tyres now as he makes his way into clipping point 2, putting the back of the car exactly where the judges want it now. Snappy fast transition, can he hold it and keep it within the white lines? Yes he can. Khalifa now doing a great job as he fills that outer zone again, making his way into the decel, through the centre, out to the wall. Young Khalifa has came to play this weekend here in the Muscat Drift Arena as he puts foot to floor and brings it out wide over the line. That's a good run there from young Khalifa Al-Hashi. 17 years of age. Do you know what? He's 17 now. I can't call him young anymore. Teenager. That's what he is. So we're going to head back to the line, and up next it should be Yousef Papwit, representing Saudi Arabia in his A90 Toyota Supra. Beautiful built car and a really aggressive driver. Okay, so Yousef is making his way to the line. I really do love this car, man. It's so just the standards of cars this year in the paddock is just insane. Every car is just unbelievable. Guys building these weapons and monsters for OIDC. But yeah, let's see what Yousef can do on his first qualifying run. Big flick early. Huge initiation from Yousef. Can he hold it? He does, but it pushed him a little bit to the centre of the track. Keeps one wheel in that first outer zone. Now he's on the front brakes trying to tuck the back of the car, getting ready to tuck the nose through the centre. Nice job from Yousef. Such a fast, snappy transition. Is he able to hold it? Yes, he is. Not too deep in that first zone, or that second outer zone, as he makes his way back to the wall. Coming through his own smoke, nearly getting lost, and just washing a small bit too wide at the end. And over the line. So you see the cones on the edge of the track, yeah, showing you the start and end of each of the zones. Okay, them cones are about a metre off the edge of the track. So if you see them cones flying, it's a real giveaway that you've definitely dropped the wheel here. You know, Yousef was doing a great job. Didn't get too deep in this zone now here. But then watch from the wall run on, gets through that clip perfect. And then a little bit of a straight in there, re-initiates halfway through the zone, and then bang, hits the cones out of the yellow and blue. So okay, we're back on the line, and up next it is Hussein Misami in another C6 Corvette representing Lebanon, having big problems all day with overheating issues. No practice at all for Hussein, so this is nearly his first lap of the track. So let's see how he gets on. He's not doing a bad job, Hussein, well veteran driver in the Middle East, so he says he should be able to get the job done with the 2 runs he has. Doing a nice job now in this first qualifying run. Not pushing too crazy, but he knows he has to put a score on the board and get some data he can bring back to the team, going, right, give me more grip, give me less grip, tell me what to do. As Hussein now filling that last outer zone, bringing it nice and wide and over the finish line. Delighted for him. You know what I mean? I've seen that car up on access stands nearly all day. Still, you know, happy-go-lucky lad, smiling and positive in the pits. He was confident enough he'd be able to get the job done, so I'm rooting for him here tonight. What are the judges going to think? That's the most important thing. A 69.7, that is not bad. He is going to be over the moon with that one. Okay, so we're going back to the line, and up next it is Lionus Yansu, one half for Swedish Drift Brothers. Wouldn't even wait for the camera, he was that eager. But Linus having another guy having a bad day. That car had no gearbox in it 2 hours ago, just so you know. Not sure what it was. He's in the borrowed car from Nasser Arharali, and Linus just joining the grid. His brother Victor drove this car around 1. Linus is like, ha, I'll drive for 2 and 3. But yeah, just unfortunate, the car, something went wrong with it. It was a clutch issue. I was over talking to guys this morning, so he just said he's going to send it. He's only here for a bit of fun, but with no practice, it's very hard to perform at the highest level, you know, especially when you're not sure if the car is going to play ball. Definitely looks like it's driving anyways, so that's a good start. Nasser was telling me that the thought was like the input shaft off the box was vibrating. They didn't really know. Something happened last night at the street parade, and the guys were nearly up all night at that car early this morning, working on it all the way through practice just to get it out for qualifying here tonight. So credit to him, his team, Nasser's team, everyone involved, but definitely room for improvement. Linus, you know, he's a veteran. He knows the crack. Oh, lad, they're not waiting at all. What? Robert Babkulian is just throwing it straight in. They need to slow down here for a minute or not put replays up, I'm not sure. But Robert in this VA 350Z doing a nice job through the centre section. Flicking it back on the front brakes. And out wide. Does he bring it to the wall? Robert doing a great job here now. Absolutely love the look of this 350Z. It's a beautiful prepared car. As we see him now putting foot to floor and bringing it over the line. So I wonder, is it going to happen again? Are we going to see the end of the replay, or will I just hear the next car leaving the line? I'm going to line up who's next, just so I know. I was just lucky that I knew that was Robert's car off the top of my head. So who is next on paper? Let's see. Oh yeah, we know this, lad. So on paper it should be our round 1 winner. The return. I'm saying returning because it's like the old Ahmed Ham is back. He hasn't had the best few years, you know. Not doing that terrible, but he's not where he wants to be up the top on that podium. But the Ham is back, and spoiler alert, he got a spoiler. How cool does that GR look? Man, that is so nice with that spoiler. I was talking to him this morning. He says it may be or maybe not measured exactly 2 knock cones off the wall run. I said, if he pulls that spoiler off in qualifying, I'm going to go crazy. Then he informed me how much that spoiler cost, and I told him don't do it. But the Ham doesn't care. He's a lunatic behind the wheel. Super excited to see. Round 1 winner representing Jordan. What can Ahmed Ham do here in his first qualifying run? He's a different Ham. I was chatting to him this morning. Like, you can see it in his eyes. He's focused. He's in the zone. He's pushing hard. He wants to win that championship. So let's see what Ahmed Ham can do as he throws it in. Nice initiation there from Ahmed Ham. Oh yes, pushing it really wide through that first zone. So we see him now getting ready to put the front of that beautiful GR86 on the wall. No fear whatsoever from Ahmed Ham. On the front brakes now, just trying to kill a bit of speed. Filling that second outer zone. So nice as he enters the decel zone. Out nice and wide to the wall. Keeps the spoiler on it for this run. As we see him pushing now. Back wheel right on the white line through that last zone. And over the line. Ahmed Ham is back with a bang. Brake horsepower to use, every bit of it, and 82 in qualifying. I'm going to say it one more time. How cool does that car look with that spoiler? Unreal. You know what? That's the part of drifting. It's not about performance, it is about looks as well. Okay, up next it is Salam Marf in the craziest Sylvia I've ever seen. LS7 twin turbo, insane build and an insane driver. Salam doing a great job through that first section now as he smokes. Listen to the screams coming from that car as he transitions now for the first time. Doing a nice job, wide early, exactly like the judges said, and he's going to fill that zone near perfect from start to finish. Salam doing a great job here now as he throws it out wide onto the wall. This man has come to play this weekend, so we see him filling that outer zone yet again and bringing it over the line. Salam Al-Saharf, my friend, that was unbelievable. What a run. Every time I see this car in person, it just blows me away. Like 2 flames shooting from the bonnet. Unbelievable. Twin turbo V8. Where else would you get it? Only OIDC. Salam representing Kuwait. Representing them proudly here in Oman. Nice wall run there. I really like that run. I'm interested to see what way this one's going to be scored. Okay, back to the line, and up next it is Ali Shohani, representing the UAE, IS 300, crazy build. This thing is just a weapon. So what can Ali do on his first qualifying run here at OIDC? As our start line marshals just waiting for smoke to clear before they release them. Painted 3/4 of the car and just left the back bit just to show everyone his IS is, you know, carbon fibre, carbon Kevlar. I'm not sure. They all look the same around this point. So we just wait. I think a few cones are just been tidied up there. Okay, thumbs up from the marshal. Ali leaves the line. Throwing it in. Nice initiation there from Ali. Lovely and wide, putting the back wheel exactly where the judges want it as he fills that zone from start to finish. Now look at the speed as he makes his way around through the centre section. Puts the front right out to the wall, doing a nice job now. Snappy fast transition. Can he hold it on the track? He does a great job. Gets lovely and wide early. This is a very good run from Ali as he makes his way into the first decel zone. Out wide, puts the back of the car to the wall, entering in the last zone. Flames shooting from underneath the car from the wastegate, and he brings it over the line. That's a good run there from Ali Shawani. He's going to be pumped with that one. Nice run there. Watch this. I thought he was going to wash wide, but that's what Kieran Hines said in the driver's briefing earlier today. Get wide early, because if you're wide early, you're on the radius to fill that zone from start to finish. That's what we want to see. So Ali obviously paying attention. It's 78.7. Oh, that's Salam's score. So I don't know if that's Salam's score. It could be just a little technical. These gremlins, they're running through the system here. They're messing with us, guys. I'm going to have to go fight them tonight, I think. But up next, we are back with another Omani driver. It is Waqas Saud, E46 BMW. Waqas jumping out of his Mustang and into this 46 this year, and it's probably the best decision he's made. Wide initiation there now. Doing a nice job, maybe just putting half a wheel over the white line. As we see Waqas now hitting clip 2 near perfect. Brings it in to the wall fearlessly again. I am not going to get tired of seeing that, as we see Waqas now out wide early, filling that zone all the way around as he comes through the decel zone. Not too deep on the wall. Will he be able to get into that last zone? No, he ends up on the inside of the circuit. Has to dial on more angle to try and just get somewhere in the clipping point, which nearly brings him to the inside of the track. But Waqas doing a good job there to hold it at the end and keep it in between the white lines. Waqas replay here. Watch this, look. Flicks out wide early, lets the car wash, and then back on power. Boom. Nice. So it's a 57.3 from Waqas. Definitely room for improvement, but he knows that himself. There's where it kind of went wrong from that last section. He completely ended up on the inside of the track, messing up that corner, but you know, Waqas will be able to figure that one out. Okay. We're going back to the line, and it is Mohammed Shiab, GT86, representing Lebanon. As he flicks it in, I was chatting to him earlier just before driver's briefing. He said he's confident, but did the car just let him down? What happened there? Uncharacteristic move from Mohammed. So we see him now back on the power, trying to just get as much data and information from the rest of this lap on what's going on this track. Everyone says there's no grip. Some people tells me there's too much grip. I don't know who to believe anymore. But Mohammed doing a great job now, just washing a bit wide there as he brings it over the line. V8 screaming under the bottom of that GT86. But yeah, just initiation, something went wrong there. Straightens up and then needs to reinitiate. So that will be a 0. Mohammed unfortunately getting a 0. Hopefully, you know, he can pull it together in the second run. Well capable driver of, you know, qualifying with one run. I'm positive for that. I'm positive. Okay, so up next we should have Dennis Miguel in another one of these beautifully prepared fresh XZs. I can hear something in the burnout box. I can't see it. I just seen a glimpse of a tail light, and it did look like one of them beautiful Z's. Yeah, so Dennis making his way through the arch and up to the start line. So you see where he is now? That's where the start line was at round 1. But the judges have decided, you know what, if we give them a shorter run in, it'll make for better battles. So it took a little bit of, you know, getting used to for some guys in practice this morning, but everyone figured it out. Look at Dennis, he's clapped and he's pumped. He is ready to go. He's going to push hard. He wants that top spot in qualifying tonight. Can he do it? Well, we're about to find out. So we see Dennis Miguel now. Nice wide, snappy initiation. Filling that zone beautifully from Dennis Miguel now as he makes his way out wide. Oh, lovely job for that second clip. Puts the front of the Z out on the wall. Snap back. Can he get out early? Filling that zone from start to finish. Yes, he can. Dennis Miguel, world-class driver, as we see him flicking back now out to the wall. Fearless at damaging that beautiful car. As we see him now filling that last outer zone from start to finish. Ho, ho, ho. This is going to be a good scored run. It's just my screen dropped and not the big screen, which then tells me no one mightn't realise. Oh, never mind, we're back. And perfect timing, 86.13 from Dennis McGall. He's going to be pumped with that one. Okay, back on the line, it is the man that's so good to name them twice. Ahmed Ramsey, representing Egypt, S14, 2JZ, fresh engine build from round 1 to round 2. And he says it's much better, a whole new setup. And Ramsey, my friend, a little bit early initiation, but he does a good job to get that car back online. So we see him now. Well, we don't see him. Ah, there he is. Now we see him. Ramsey doing a nice job there in that second outer zone. Flicks back out to the wall, getting lost a little bit in his own smoke, I would say. But yeah, Ramsey, not the cleanest run we've seen. Definitely was doing better runs in practice. He was confident just before qualifying, so hopefully whatever's going on there, he can get figured out. Initiated a bit early, but the rest of it, I'm not sure what happened there. I'm going to assume it was amazing. That's all I can say. Ramsey's relatively new to this sport. He drifted about 2 years he is, believe it or not. Doesn't look it to me. Okay, we're heading back to the line, and up next it should be another Omani driver. Yeah, he's in the burnout box. It's the one, the only Heam Al-Haididi in one of the craziest S15s I've ever seen. Heim, young man, so aggressive in the driver's seat. Really excited to see what he can do. He told me the other night, he says, I just want a top stop at OIDC. He says, I want to win the event. I just want to win the event. This is his home turf. This is his country, his championship. You know what? Look at the concentration in his eyes. Tonight might be that night, but he's going to win the event. You got to qualify first. So let's see what Heam Al-Haididi can do. As he throws it in. Snappy, fast initiation from the Omani driver. Putting the back wheel right on the line. Look at the speed of him through that first corner. So you see him now coming lovely and wide for clip 2. Front of the car on the wall near. Perfect from Heim Al-Haididi. As he washes wide, doing a good job there. Filling the second outer zone from start to finish. Makes his way through the centre section now, out deep to the wall. No fear whatsoever from the Omani driver. So we see him maybe putting one wheel just too wide at the end. The only kink in the whole chain. But Heim Al-Haididi, what a run. So much just aggression and speed through that first section. Really enjoyed that run there from Heim Al-Haididi. And an 81 for Heim. That's a good start to qualifying tonight. He knows he can push now. Nice little confidence booster. Near perfect lap. Bar there. This is where it started to go wrong. Just that second half of that last zone, putting one wheel off, so not bad, man. Right, we're going back to the line. Up next, it's another Egyptian driver. It is Karim Rashed in his BMW E46. Absolutely beautiful car. I kept telling everyone last round that he has two of these cars. One is his Egyptian car and one was his European car. Well, he has been named as a Drift Masters driver, so we will be seeing Karim in Europe this year. But he told me, he says, I don't want to call it my European car. This car is now called Cairo with a K. He says it's special to him. He's feeling confident. He was looking good in practice, so I'm excited to see what Karim is going to do. Nice initiation there from the Egyptian driver. Putting the back wheel lovely and wide through that first zone. Carrying big speed now as Karim as he makes his way through the centre. Real nice there with the wall run, putting the front of the E46 BMW right on the wall. No fear at all from Karim here tonight as he makes his way back through the centre section, onto the wall, through his own smoke. Look at the speed, look at the angle, look at the aggression in this run from Karim. He wants to do well here tonight. Clutch failure made him bow out of round one, but that car is back working perfectly here tonight, and that is a very good run from Karim. I'm excited to see what way the judges score this one. An 83.7. He's going to be happy with that one. Nice run there from the Egyptian driver. Oh, it's going to be a tough field tonight. I'm telling you guys, 32 boys go into battle tomorrow night. Or ladies, my apologies. There's some ladies on the grid. So yeah, 32 drivers go to battle tomorrow night, but 30 of them go home. Up next, it is Alan O'Loughlin representing Ireland. Alan O'Loughlin back for the second year here. This 180SX, a 1.5 JZ underneath the bonnet, 800 brake horsepower, and I am telling you, I hope the screens and all the live stream does the sound of this car justice, because it sounds amazing, it does. Alan had a very good qualifying session. Round one, unfortunately the car let him down and he didn't make it to his battle in the top 32 as his GoPro falls off on initiation. His media guy Sean Noonan obviously didn't strap that down hard enough, as we see him now coming through. Please don't run over the GoPro as he flicks back. Alan doing a nice job here, not all the way into that zone from the start, but he gets there at the end as he flicks back through the wall section and into that last outer zone. Screams from this 1.5 JZ, a combination that's not too common anymore, but Alan's still repping it. It works for him, that's all that matters. Show me the GoPro flying. Yes, they did. Sean, lad, you should have secured it better. Definitely not the best run we've seen from Alan here today, round two, but well capable driver. 73 there. 73.3 on his first qualifying run. Alan, he'd say it himself, qualifying is not his strong. He doesn't do well in qualifying, he just does enough to get the job done. But in battles, it's a different story. One of the best chase drivers you will see, so hopefully we'll see him tomorrow night. Okay, we're heading back to the line. Up next, it is Riyad Al-Masabi in his new build this year, 370Z V8. Crazy car, an unbelievable driver, representing Oman. Let's see what Riyad can do on his first qualifying run. Hopefully they got Alan O'Loughlin's GoPro off the middle of the track. As you see Riyad throwing it in. Not too deep through that first zone, but he gets there at the end. He needs to push it out, trying to get that car back online. That 370 screaming. Oh, so close to the wall. Brilliant run there. We see Riyad now on the front brakes, controlling the back of that car. Little tap of the front brakes, just getting ready to transition into the decel zone. Very little decelling there from Riyad. Doing a nice job now. Oh! I thought he was just about to straighten up. He had to do absolutely anything to keep that car sideways and get it over the line. But Riyad, not the best run we've seen him do, but definitely one to watch. Good strong Omani driver, jumping out of his Supra this year and into the 370. Oh, that wall run there, that was a good one. I enjoyed that. Okay, so we're heading back to the line. Up next is meant to be Daniel Maximoff, but it's not. It's Sebastian Fontton, and I'll tell you one thing, Sebastian Fontton and his team, George and Micah, them guys deserve a massive pat on the back. Rebuilt this engine within 3 days, loads of help of locals in Oman, and I'm just so happy to see Seb back on track. Look at the initiation. They have had such a tough week. The guys told me they arrived in Oman on Monday and they've had about 6 hours sleep. Building that car on the dyno yesterday, didn't make it to the street parade, didn't have time, brought the head back to the Netherlands and got it rebuilt in their local garage and then brought it back to Oman. So big up to them team. Sebastian doing whatever he can to try and get here, so it's a credit to him and everyone involved. We're just happy to see Sebastian Fontton on the grid here. Head gasket went at the last round, warped the head, everything, cracked the piston, you name it, it happened to the JZ. So just super excited to see Seb on the grid. Fair play to the boys, everyone involved, local garages here in Muscat helping him out, and yeah. And 78, Sebastian's going to be so happy with that one. Okay, so we're heading back to the line, and it is Abdullah Hamada representing Jordan in his E92. I was chatting to him this morning. I just said to him, was like, dude, I am a huge fan of your driving. You are so aggressive, and He told me straight out, he was like, I'm after putting a bigger turbo on it, and I have more power, and I have a lot more torque for round 2. So I'm super excited to see what Abdullah can do. He put on a show at round 1 for us. Definitely made a name for himself. So let's see how he gets on here at round 2 of OIDC. Anti-lag on, the way he goes. Abdullah makes his way down. Snappy to near 90 initiation. Can he fill that zone? Not the deepest, but he's 1-2 wheels in all the way around that first corner now, doing a good job out wide there. Puts the front of it on the wall as he transitions now nice and early, like the judges ask. Gets lovely and wide for outer zone 2. Pushing very wide as he makes his way into the D-cell zone. Out! Back of the car on the wall near fiercely. Look at this. Huge angle, huge smoke, huge style from Abdullah as he brings it around the last corner and over the finish line. Yep, I'm a fan. I'm sold on it. I am a man that one. So what way will the judges score this one? All sitting waiting to see. Such a nice looking E92 as well. I don't know what front bumper that is, but that splitter sticks out so far. So aggressive. But we're moving back to the line, and it is the one, the only Ehab Fala. And Ehab is not in the 46 like the last round. He promised me he would bring his new build of a Silvia S14.9. 800 brake horsepower, supercharged V8, absolutely everything you'd want to do to a drift car, and man is it working. He told me just before qualifying to realise he had a sticky piston on his front calibre. His team got that sorted for him, so I'm super excited to see this car in person, and I cannot wait to see what Ehab is going to do here on his first qualifying run, representing Lebanon. Has the flag on the back window. Listen to this V8 as it screams down the straight. Ehab Fala throwing it in there, 90. Can he hold it? Oh no! Unfortunately, getting it all wrong brings him to the inside of the track. He told me it's hard to tame this car, it's just scaring him. But Ehab now got back online for the second half of this run. As he makes his way through the centre section, nice and wide, out to the wall, enters the last corner, into the last outer zone, all the way through and out wide and over the finish line from Ehab Fala. Unfortunately, not the initiation he would have liked. Snapped it really fast and then ended up on the inside. But that's the problem with these new builds. It takes time to get used to them. He was doing plenty of test days and practice during the week before he came down to Oman. So hopefully, you know, whatever happened there, he can figure it out and improve on the second lane. We definitely want to see that beautiful looking S14.9. Battles for a 61 on his first run. He has a score on the board, but definitely room for improvement. Okay, up next is meant to be our local driver Lalu, but unfortunately it's not. It's one of them fresh egg season there, so Lalu and his team working on his car all day. Ali Al-Bushid, not sure exactly what was going on it, but they were taking off crank pulleys earlier on, and you know, the guys don't have the best English. My Arabic isn't too good, and I know when people don't want to be annoyed, so really hoping, you know, whatever it is, the guys are just finishing it off, and maybe we might see Lalu back out for his second qualifying run. But in the box it is Anatoli Sherbach, and he's in one of these fresh XCs. I mean, he has made one big improvement to the Z from the last round, and that is he's put on an unbelievable carbon spoiler on the back of it. These cars, I didn't think they could look any better, but Anatoli proved me wrong. And another guy who was saying that it just coincidentally is lined up with the height of the wall. So if you're an OIDC fan, you will realise that Tomas Kiley last year went viral around the world for pulling the cone off the wall and and just sat it on the quarter of his car. So I think a lot of eyes are trying to do that again here at round 2. But let's see what Anatoli Sherbach can do in the fresh XC as he pulls to the line. See inside that car, they're beautifully prepared. There's 4 of them, 3 of them on the grid today. This is just crazy. The spoiler is a good addition if you ask me. There was sides on it earlier. I'm assuming they were pulled off. So let's see what Anatoli can do as he leaves the line for his first qualifying run. Huge snap to angle, nice and wide from Sherbach. He puts maybe one wheel just over that white line, making his way through that first corner. Tucks the nose in for the wall. Nice job there as he transitions back. Lovely and wide. That's not a bad run so far from Anatoli as he makes his way into the decel zone now. Puts the back of the car right out on the wall and out wide for that last zone. Sherbach doing a great job here as he brings it over the line. I like that one now. That was a fast and nice run from Anatoli. Snap the angle there from the start. Huge commitment putting the front of that car on the wall. At 86, the judges like that run as much as me. Room for improvement. He's going to be happy with that. Get ready to move back to the line, and up next it should be another Omani driver, that is Taruk Al-Shahani, the second of our Al-Shahani runners. As we see Taruk make his way through the arch and up to the start line. So what can Taruk do? On his first qualifying run here, representing Oman, supercharged V8, kind of a common thing around here, in a 180 SX. So let's go. Shahani is giving the, oh no, it's letting a bit more smoke clear. You happy? Okay, both of them are happy. Marshall and driver, away they go. Taruk Al-Shahani leaves the line for his first qualifying run. Nice initiation there. See him putting foot to floor now, absolutely smoking that first corner out, but putting the back wheel lovely on the white line as he makes his way through the second clip. Out to the wall! How did he not make contact there? That was insane. As we see Al-Shahani now flicking back, getting ready for that second outer zone, and he filling it beautiful as well, doing a great job now as he comes into the decel zone, dabbing a handbrake, kills off a bit of speed, lines himself up for the last outer zone. Nice job there from Taruk Al-Shahani as he makes his way through the centre and over the line. There we go, another good run in the bag. I want to see this front clip wall run again. This was a close one, I think. Another one. Oh, there was nothing between that. And 84.3 is going to be happy with that. He's going to be delighted. So, second Al-Shahani rudder. Completed the first qualifying run, and a good run that was. Right, we're heading back to the line. It is Clint Van Earth representing the Netherlands. Clint, obviously with a new livery, the car arrived hours before qualifying at round 1, so Clint had a bit of time before round 2 and did all the things he wanted to do to it, and I must admit it looks amazing. So what can the Dutchman do to put himself in the top 32 for tomorrow night? OIDC veteran, pretty sure this is his 5th season in Oman. But yeah, Clint Van Earth leaves the line. Nice snap there from Clint, doing a great job, near 90 into the first zone. Back wheel on the white line all the way around. This is the Clint we're used to seeing. Nice job now as he makes his way to the inside clip. Boom! Puts that bumper right on the wall. Does a great job. Clint Van Earth now transitioning lovely and wide. Out, filling that zone near perfect. This is a good run from Clint. Do we see him transition back of the car on the wall? Can't see it on the screen. I'm just going to assume he did it because everything else has been near perfect from Clint as he makes his way. Listen to the screams of that JZ around the last corner. What a run from the Dutchman out of nowhere. Clint is back, and he is back with a bang. Look at this. Watch the front bumper. Oh. Art. Drifting is art when it's done right. And man, that run was done right there. What a run from Clint. Delighted to see you. Didn't see the back wall run there, but I'm just going to tell everyone it was class. 85.3, he's going to be happy with that. And we move back to the line, and up next, I can hear him. It is the one, the only, it's Nasser Arharali. Nasser was telling me this morning that he's just so angry. And I was like, why are you angry? He's like, I just, when I'm angry, I drive better. I was like, okay, well then get angry. So he promised me he was going to do something crazy. He didn't say if it was going to be the first or the second run, but when Nasser tells me he's going to do something crazy, Nasser does something crazy. 370Z. Man, what a driver is this young man from El Salvador. Let's see how he gets on his first qualifying run. I mean, the sound of this V8 370Z is just crazy. At the street parade last night, he sat it on the limiter beside me. I'm pretty sure he burst my eardrum, but we're still friends. That's all that matters. Nasser, let's go. Throwing it in near 90. Nice initiation. As we see him now putting the back wheel right on the outer line all the way through that first zone. As we see Nasser now coming through the centre section, front bumper out to the wall. He is definitely driving in anger tonight. Transition lovely and early, getting wide from the start. Like the judges asked, Nasser wants to get on the podium this weekend here in Oman as he throws it back. Lovely and wide, back of the car on the wall. And Nasser now doing a great job through that last zone and over the wall. Man, he won it. And there's 360. That's probably for me. Man, what a run. Nasser is back. Yes, I love that initiation. Snappy, fast, two angle, and just boom, near 90. Here we go. And 90, so the judges also like that run as much as me. That 370Z is singing this weekend. Let's see how he does on the second qualifying run. But yeah, Nasser, my man, what a run. He should get angry more often. Okay, we're back on the line, and it is the one and only Benedictus Cherba in this new build. Man, this BMW 2 Series G42, if I'm correct. Look how concentrated Cherba is. Such an aggressive driver, but definitely one of the nicest drift cars I think I've ever seen. Him and his team, it's a credit to him, man. It looks amazing. And there it is on the back, Mad Cherba. You should never go Mad Cherba, unless you're Cherba. Representing Lithuania. Let's see what Cherba can do here tonight. Round 2. He's an OIDC veteran. The fans love him here. We all love Cherba. So yeah, let's go. Nice initiation. Lovely and wide. Doing exactly as you would expect from Benedictus Cherba as he makes his way right through clip point 2. Puts the front of that beautiful BMW on the wall. Snappy transition out nice and wide. Into that zone is Cherba as he makes his way through the centre section one more time. Back of the car out to the wall. Cherba doing a great job now, filling that last outer zone. Such a fast run there from Benedictus Cherba. The cameras were barely able to keep up with him. So Cherba is back for round 2, and he is looking good if you ask me, and so is the car. Okay, so you see Cherba's score drop in an 81.3. He's going to be happy with that. He knows he can push harder now on his second run and try and do something spectacular. And that's all we expect from Cherba. It's just something spectacular. Right. Back we go again. Up next is Mr. Tommy Kiley, representing Ireland. He finished in second place at round 1. And man, is he looking good on this round 2 layout. Was chatting to him in the hotel as we were on the way down from qualifying. He said to me, he's feeling it, the car's good, everything's working, so he's ready to put on a show. And you know, when Tommy Kiley says that to you, something special is about to happen. So one of the nicest looking 180 SXs ever. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of green guys. Or green guys? Green cars. Until I seen this one, and the green and the blue, it just looks amazing. Kiley always known for his stylish looking drift cars, so let's see what he can do here on his first qualifying run. Clicks it into gear, away he goes. Over 900 brake horsepower. Oh no! Oh no! I can feel the anger that poor engine is going to experience for the next 50 seconds now. Tommy Kiley getting it, unfortunately, all wrong on initiation, over-rotating completely. Maybe he was trying to do one of these class backwards entries, but not the start to qualifying that Tommy Kiley would want. Now look, I'm not ruling him out. Give Kiley one qualifying run in any competition and he'll still qualify. He's one of the top drivers in the world. He's like Ireland's hidden secret, that's what he is. But unfortunately, Deir getting it all wrong, and it's a 0 for Tommy Kiley. Oh, he's not going to be happy with that. But look, trust me, Kiley is a cool, calm, collective driver. He'd be like, don't worry, it's fine. One run, watch this. He'll probably come out and get 100 points on the next one. Okay, so we have 2 cars left in qualifying, and that will be the first half done. So up next is Omani driver Ahmed Lamry, one of the happiest guys on the grid, always smiling, always there to lend a helping hand to any international or any guest or anyone. His new Sylvia this year working a treat for him. So yeah, let's see what Ahmed Lamry can do on his first qualifying run. Such an aggressive driver, lead and chase, you know what I mean? These happy, nice people are always smiling at you. Once they put the helmet on and get behind the wheel, they become lunatics. And that is one right there. Look at him. Look, he's smiling there now. He's a lunatic right there in the helmet. Man, I can't wait to see what Ahmed Lamry's going to do in this run. Says the car's working, he's working, they're feeling comfortable working together. So how will Lamry get on as he makes his way down? Nice initiation early, but holds it, does a good job now, puts the back wheel lovely out on that line as we see him making his way through the centre section, front bumper right to the wall. And a lovely transition, so wide, so early, and that is exactly what Kieran Hines said in the driver's briefing. Now look at him, transitions back, puts the back of the car to the wall. Entering that last outer zone is Ahmed Lamry. Look, that back wheel looks like it's glued to them white lines. What a run from Ahmed Lamry as he brings it over the line and just throws it anyway to try and slow it down. This thing is possessed. Man, that was a good run from the Omani driver. Look at that, right to the wall, boom. See how early he does the transition. Look, nice and wide out to the white line. He just follows the line around. Now he's perfectly on that run. A 93, well rewarded for Ahmed Lamry. He is going to be pumped with that one. So we are going to more than likely see him in battle action tomorrow night. And then there was one. The last car in qualifying round 1, or round 2 should I say, the first half of qualifying, Ali Maqseed representing Kuwait. We were in driver's briefing about an hour before, we went live here, and I could hear this car screaming like it was on a dyno. Turns out it was Ali Maqseed's car on the dyno. Just in the last run, end of practice, there was a map sensor failure. They changed it out, and Ali was like, nope, I need to get a good result here tonight. Car went on the dyno, and now he told me it's working perfect. He's feeling confident, the car looks good, and that is a great first half of the run there from Ali Maqseed. The screen drops, so I don't know if you guys can see it at home. I'm watching the big screen as he tucks it into the wall, transitions it back out. Lovely and wide there from Ali Maqseed as he makes his way around. And yeah, that's a nice job there. Gets the back of the GT86 out to the wall. See Maqseed now maybe dropping one wheel as he enters that last zone. Puts foot to floor and brings it over the line. There we go. Ali Maqseed for a yoke that was on the dyno about 2 hours ago. That's not bad going. And an 82.3 from Ali Maqseed. He's going to be happy with that. There you see him just dropping one wheel at the end. So That is the first half of qualifying done. We're after going through 60 odd drivers, 63 on the grid here this weekend. A few people didn't turn up. Hopefully they can get the car sorted and get back for the second half. So I'm not sure if we're going to take a break. We do see we've Daigo Saito there, Danny Neville, Sandra's there, yeah. Pacilioskus. A lot of our first half of qualifying cars are there. The boys are going to grid them up again, get them lined up, and then we get the second half of qualifying underway very shortly. As you see Ali McSee driving back into his pit area. His team will be straight in there telling him what to do, where he can improve, studying the run. I'm telling you, until you walk through some of these pit areas and look at these teams, how professional drifting's gone is insane.
Ready for a surprise? The off-roader has evolved with hybrid power, while inherent
العالمية للدريفت OIDC. معكم أنا يزن حسن، ورجعنا لفقرة المقابلات، وهاي المرة مع بطل حصل السنة الماضية ببطولة عمان على المركز الرابع على الترتيب العام، وهو بطل ريد بول كار بارك دريفت بنسخته الأخيرة. خليني أرحب بالبطل أحمد اللامري.
يعطيك العافية وشكرا طبعا تواجدي في هالمكان، وأشكر الجمهور الحاضرين بلا استثناء، وإن شاء الله خلصنا الجولة الأولى من التصفيات، وإن شاء الله يكون وفيت في حقهم واستمتعوا، وإن شاء الله في جولة ثانية بعد شوي ومتعهم بإذن الله أكثر.
إن شاء الله. أحمد خلينا نبلش زي ما حكيت أنت بالجمهور. شو شعورك على خط البداية لما يكون الجمهور كله مع أحمد العامري، وأنت بتعرف أنت قد إيه قريب من الجمهور وقد إيه جمهور محب لأحمد العامري هون بعمان؟
والله لولا الجمهور ما تعنيت وجيت أصلا ولا صفيت في الستارت لاين. هل وجود الجمهور وفي الستارت لاين أنسى التعب كله، يهمني إني أسعدهم.
إن شاء الله. أحمد شو اللي صار معك بالجولة الأولى بهمنا نعرف.
والله في الجولة الأولى يعني قدر الله شوية أعطال ما حسب لي الحساب، وهذه رياضة السيارات، العطل وارد في أي لحظة، فالحمد لله رب العالمين تعديناها، وإن شاء الله هالجولة راجعين بالأقوى، وبإذن الله تباشير طيبة إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله. طبعا أحمد لسه هلا مخلص جولته.
بعدني حامي.
لسه هلا مخلص جولته. كيف كانت الجولة اليوم؟
والله الحمد لله أنا يعني لين الحين ما أعرف السكور.
نعم.
بس
أنت ما لحقت تعرف.
أيوة بالضبط، بس شفت الشباب يباركوا لي وفرحانين وصوت الجمهور، فأتوقع إلى الآن المركز الأول.
ان شاء الله. ان شاء الله بتستاهل احمد. ضروري طيب. اسالك لك هذا السؤال، انت حاصل على لقب ريد بول كار بارك دريفت، بالنسبه لاحمد العامري ايش المفضل بالنسبه له، كار بارك ولا تاندم دريفت؟
والله شوف الاثنين متعه، ولكن خلينا نقول كل يعني الكار بارك في تكنيك معين، والتاندم في تكنيك معين، هذا متعه وهذا متعه، ولكن التاندم متعته اكثر لانه في شراسه اكثر.
نعم، بس انت بتستمتع بالتاندم اكثر؟
والله انا الاثنين يعني كل فعاليه وتجهيزها معين، فالاثنين مستمتع.
نعم. بتحس بالتاندم في فرص اكثر للمتسابق اكثر من الكار بارك دريفت؟
والله شوف الاثنين غلطه الشاطر في يعني رياضه المحركات. في الكار بارك بعد يعني انت خلينا نقول لو قمع واحد يطلعك برا السباق، وفي التاندم نفس الشيء، يعني غلطه واحده يمكن ما تكمل.
نعم صحيح، بس انا اقصد بالكواليفاينج انت معاك جوله ثانيه تحاول تضبط فيها.
في الكواليفاين معاك
بارك بتحس انت خلص يعني مره واحده.
الكواليفاين معاك تعوض معاك يعني، بس بيظل في الكار بارك بعد لو غلط يمكن تتاهل وتعدل في التوب 16 والتوب 4.
نعم،
ولكن نحن نقول الكار بارك شويه اصعب،
اما بالتاندم ما فيش.
ايوه بالضبط، فرصه واحده وخلص.
نعم. اذا بدنا نحكي عن التراك، تراك اختلف من المره الماضيه لهاي المره؟
والله شوف كتراك اتوقع اللي اوت نفسه، بس ما شاء الله عليهم المنظمين والتحكيم غيروا شوي في الرسمه، فصار في تكنيك اكثر، ومع الجرب اللي صراحه اليوم كنا ما متوقعينه ورجع الجرب نفس ما متعودين في حلبة عمان، فصراحه ممتع.
نعم، وعم نشوف نحن موضوع الجرب، عم نشوف كيف تنظيف الحلبة بعد كل جولة، وفكرة المنظمين اللي عم بيقوموا دائما لحظة بلحظة على تحسين المسار. لازم أسألك عن المنظمين كونك من عمان، شو رأيك بالتنظيم اللي عم بيصير هون ببطولة عمان؟
والله لولا الجمعية العمانية للسيارات ولولا المنظمين وشغالين خلف الكواليس ما كنا وصلنا هالمرحلة، ولكن بننافس العالم، فالحمد لله رب العالمين من سنة لسنة نحن في تقدم، فضل من الله وفضل من الجمعية العمانية للسيارات والشباب القائمين في الجمعية.
إن شاء الله. شو جديد أحمد العامري؟ وين ناوي يشارك برا؟
والله جديد أحمد العامري تجهيز، ونسعى للأفضل ونسعى نشارك على كل سنة في دولة معينة، إن شاء الله نجهز حالنا بإذن الله إذا تيسرت الأمور درفت ماستر بإذن الله هالسنة.
نعم، حلو.
هذه مفاجأة يعني إن شاء الله.
بطلت مفاجأة، خلص حكت لنا إياها.
إن شاء الله.
رسميا ولا لسه؟
بإذن الله إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله، وراح تكون مشارك كمان بالإف آي اي.
إن شاء الله بإذن الله.
إن شاء الله. أحمد العامري شكرا كثير لوجودك معنا، وبالسلامة لك ولجميع الأبطال، وبالتوفيق بالجولة الثانية.
الله يسلمك.
حقك علينا، طلعناك دغري.
لا عليك، وشكرا يا جمهور الوفي.
أحلى تحية لأحمد العامري، وبالتوفيق له لجميع الأبطال. شكرا كثير.
يعطيك العافية.
الله يسلمك.
Ready for a surprise? The off-roader has evolved with hybrid power while inheriting its legendary toughness. The off-roader has evolved with hybrid power while inheriting its legendary toughness.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are back with a bang. Literally, Daigo Saito throwing it in on a zero. The Wally device comes flying off his roof. Everything just happens so fast there. What are they doing? They're trying to kill me. But Daigo Saito is on a zero, ladies and gentlemen. He has one run to try and secure a spot in the round 2 top 32 of OIDC. And this is that run. He's doing a great job now, even though he caught me off guard. Daigo Saito is back in Oman, and he's back with a bang, and that's what we expected from the first run. Whatever mechanical issues they got sorted, you know, he's here, he knows the crack. Believe it or not, I think he's done a few competitions, as we see. Poor old Wally going flying there. There's no telemetry from this run. That's what happens with them carbon fibre roofs, huh? But yeah, Daigo Saito back with a bang, kicking off our second half of qualifying. Let's see what way our judges score this one. As I said earlier on, I'm not a Corvette guy. It's not impersonal, don't attack me, but damn, it looks good with a spoiler. So we just watch a drone shot, and then we head back to the line. So up next is another Corvette, another returning driver, hasn't been in IDC for a couple of years. It is Danny Neville, superstar DJ. Here we go. Danny, run number 2, scoring the board in the first one. Let's see what he can do, representing Lebanon. Nice initiation from Danny, getting the back of that Corvette lovely and wide through that first zone. As we see him make his way out, lovely and wide that clip too, puts the front bumper on the wall, yes Danny boy. As we see him now transitioning for the first time, nice and wide, filling that outer zone, doing a great job here is Danny Neville as he enters the D-cell zone, back of the car out to the wall, on the front brakes, trying to just rotate the back. It's a lovely shot at the start line, but I don't know why it's there, as Danny Neville comes around the last corner and over the finish line. We'll call it a 180 there, Danny. You didn't make it all the way around, but you have to. I know, good run. It's good to see Danny Neville back in Oman. His new build working, 550 brake horsepower on NA V8, which you would say, well, that's low power compared to the other cars, but it works perfect. He's no lag, he's no nothing. He's just playing with the throttle all the way around. So, as I said to him earlier, if it suits your driving style, then it works. That's the main thing. So yeah, beautiful shot of the ground there again. Unbelievable, man. That's such nice tarmac. Okay, so 2 Corvettes down, 1 more to go. So, up next, on paper it should be Malika Movahed from Iran. But Malika having clutch issues this morning, ECU issues at round 1. The poor girl just isn't getting a break. She has a new car, 180SX, and no, that is not Malika, so unfortunately she will not make it to qualifying again. So we really hope her and the team can get that car sorted and we get her back for round 3. Well, up next, as you see in the burnout box, is the crazy E36 of Sandra, representing Lithuania. I really don't know how to pronounce her surname, but do you know what? I'm going to give it a go for the laugh. Sandra Yansuwisketi. I don't know. I'll come up there now and see what you think at home. I do apologise to Sandra, but some of these names are difficult, especially from a lad from Ireland. Love the livery though. Absolutely, such a cool looking car. And let's see how Sandra can get on. There you are. You pronounce it at home. I can hear the commentators outside. My boy Damu has just said the same thing. He just called her Sandra. I really should go and learn how to pronounce that name for round 3. But let's see how Sandra gets on On her second qualifying run, she tears down BMW V8 Turbo. Lovely initiation, not too deep in that zone, but Sandra doing a nice job now. Flame spitting from the wastegate underneath the car as we see her come right into the wall. And Sandra just, a little bit shallow. She came on the power a bit too early there, missing that second outer zone completely, and very unfortunate. Ending up on the inside of the track now. Stomps on the front brakes, trying to get the rear of that car. Nice and wide. And out over the line. Oh, few little mistakes there from Sandra. I'm not sure if it's nerves or whatever. I have seen her compete in other championships around the world, and she is a well-capable driver, so maybe just the forever changing grip levels here in Oman are catching people out. There's just come on the power a bit too early there, not letting the car wash out wide enough. Unfortunately for Sandra, then put her to the inside for most of the second half of this run. So let's see what happens with her. Okay, Mohammed Al-Shaharksi on the line. Beautiful PS13 now, if you ask me. Really, really nice car. Representing Libya. So let's see how Mohammed can get on his second qualifying run. Comes up to the camera. So we just wait for a little bit more Sandra smoke to clear in that first corner. Oh, there's a replay. Oh, we're not seeing a replay. Oh, we are seeing a replay. I don't know what's going on. The gremlins are now in the replay system. Okay, I know where they are. I'm going to get them. I'll be back in a minute. I did find out on the break though, the reason the screen kept going black was in the control room up above me when the air conditioning came on. It screaming black, so hopefully that's fixed. But yeah, Mohammed throwing it in. Nice initiation there, getting lovely and wide. Better than his first run. Look at that, right out wide onto that outer line, doing a great job there. See him dialing on more angle now, tucking the car in, getting ready to line up for the front bumper on the wall. Does a good job. Transitions a little bit later than the judges would want him, but he still gets out to the start of that zone. Mohammed doing a good job now as he makes his way through the centre section. Bit of a straight in there, not getting all the way out to the wall, but he is in that last outer zone. Mohammed, not a bad run, one or two little mistakes, mainly that centre section and the rear wall zone, but not a bad run for the Libyan driver. Look at that, that's what we want to see. Back wheel right on that outer line. We were just watching Mohammed's replay here. Nice job. I'm getting a guest joining me in the booth. I'm busy, I don't have time to talk to you, but I did see one of your Wally devices going flying. Michael from Race Data Labs is here with me. Coming in, Michael, you're going to give me all the information for tomorrow night, yeah? Yes, he is. Right, we're back on the line. It is Andreas Pacilioskus, representing Lithuania. Second qualifying run. He's a score on the board from his first one. What can Pacilioskus do on this second run? As we see the drone overhead ready to follow him. All these race drones and FPV and everything, it's just how much the sport's evolving. It's crazy. Even things like Wally, stuff like that, the information the judges have at their hands. You can go on the Race Data Labs website right now and you can look back at your favourite driver and see a full render 3D of their run, exactly what happened and where it happened, speed, angle, just everything. So there's actually too much information. I'm going to have it apparently at my disposal tomorrow night, so I'm super excited for that. But look, Pacilioskus leaves the line, throwing it in. Nice initiation there, lovely and wide. Pushing it through that first zone as Andreas Pacilioskus now getting ready to put the front bumper on the wall. Nice job there through the centre section as he transitions for the first time. Around the second outer zone. Good job. Will he get the back of the car on the wall? Nice and wide through that wall clip as well. It's not a bad run from Andreas Pacilioskus. Oh, maybe just putting one wheel wide at the end of that zone. Can he hold it in between the white lines? I think he did. Pacilioskus, not a bad run at all. Left that zone small bit early, but watch this front wall run here. Does a great job on this one. Boom. And a 72.7 on his second run for Pacilioskus. Okay, so we're going back to the line, and it should be the crazy E46 of Salam Bala. Salam, unfortunately, the initiation on his first run didn't go according to plan. He did get a score on the board though. So let's see how he can get on his second run. Will he be able to tidy up that initiation, get some more points and try and get himself in? Big initiation, lovely and wide, but same thing again, not fully deep all the way around that zone. So we see him coming through. Nice job there through that section. Boom, right onto the wall. Such commitment, such bravery from Salam as he makes his way, doing a great job in the second outer zone. Right out wide on the line. Nice wall run through there. Stomps on the front brakes, trying to get that car just over rotate a bit more. Back on the white line for the last zone. And yeah, over the line. That's definitely a better run than his first one. But will it be enough? That's the only mistake. I don't know. Maybe dragged the handbrake a bit too much. Lost a bit too much momentum on the initiation. So let's see what way the judges score this one. .66 he gets on that run. Okay, we're back to the line, and up next it is the one and only Mr. Conor Shanahan, 2025 Drift Masters champion right here in Oman. He got P4 at round 1. He wants to get on that podium. He scored a 92 in his first run. Let's see what the younger Shanahan can do here in Muscat. Round 2. This is his second qualifying run. Oh, and I'm excited for this one. Conor knows he's a good scorer in the bag, so he can push that bit harder, and trust me, when a Shanahan starts pushing hard, it's usually just something spectacular. A work of art, if you ask me. And away he goes for a second run. Conor Shanahan leaves the line. Huge weight transfer. Lovely and wide from Conor Shanahan. Putting the back wheel lovely and wide through that first zone. Look at that, near perfect all the way around. So he makes his way to the second clipping point. Nice job there. Tucks the front of the GT86 right on the wall. Such commitment, such bravery from Shanahan as he transitions for the first time on the front brakes. Lovely and wide through the outer zone too. Conor Shanahan wants to get top step here tonight. What a wall run. To snap the angle there from Conor Shanahan was near perfect. Putting the back wheel on the white line through the third outer zone and bringing it over the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Conor Shanahan is here to play this year in OIDC. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Cannot wait to see that man in battle action tomorrow night. Shanahan's always putting a show on. Two of the best drivers in the world coming from the same household in Ireland. Mental. And an 84.3 from Conor Shanahan on the second run. His 92 will have to do on the first run, but you know he was pushing and trying a few new things there, dropping one or two wheels in places, but not a bad run at all from Conor Shanahan. What a driver. Right, we're going back to the line, and up next it is Kevin Pisculti representing Hungary. Nissan Silvia coming through the arch. Such an aggressive driver. Everyone told me to keep an eye out from round 1. He was going to do some cool things in the chase position, and I was not disappointed. So I'm super pumped to see him back for round 2, and let's see how he gets on. Will he secure a spot in qualifying, or in battle action tomorrow night, should I say? Anti-lag switched on, and away he goes. Kevin leaves the line. Nice initiation, super fast, very little break there. Exactly what the judges want to see. Filling that outer zone near perfect is Kevin Pisculti as he makes his way through clipping point 2, and just pushing a small bit wide there, maybe dropping one wheel, but does a good job to tuck the nose right on the wall as he flicks back. Lovely and wide for that second outer zone is Pisculti as he makes his way out to the wall run, throwing it lovely and deep out to the wall. Kevin on the front brakes, trying to control the rear of that car. Listen to the screams of that Jay-Z as he makes his way around the last corner and over the line. What a run. There we go. Kevin Scully here to put a show on OADC. On 79.7 in the second run. Okay, so we're going to go back to the line, and it is Ibrahim Kawali, E46, BMW. Let's see how Ibrahim gets on his second qualifying run. Away he goes. Ibrahim leaves the line for his second qualifying run. Nice initiation there. Look at that big angle, snaps out wide, filling that zone here perfectly all the way around. As we see him now on the front brakes, controlling the rear of the car, tucking it in, getting that zone ready to line in for the wall. Oh, he surely made contact. He did. Something came off the front of the car there. Is that the first man to make contact with the wall? The bumper's hanging down, but he's still going. Ibrahim on a lovely line now. As he comes back through, probably going to run over his tail or his headlight or whatever fell off the car. As we see him now enter the last zone. Absolute scream coming from that beam. And he brings it over the line. Get me back to that replay. Show me that. Look, come on. We're all sitting here watching it together, guys. We're waiting for it to happen. At some point, someone's going to drive into the wall clip. But Ibrahim now, I think, was more perfection. He just rubbed it. A little bit of a bumper. Something came off there. Or one of his BMW grills, actually, I think it was. I'm not sure, but it didn't affect his line much because he did a great job coming out with that clipping point. So big up there to Ibrahim, doing a great job. Okay, up next it is the young man from Libya. It is Jihad Al-Sabli. I need to practice these names. Apologise, Jihad. This 13-year-old kid though, man, he is so aggressive. In this A90 Supra, this car is exactly what it looks on the live stream. Near a perfect build. Jihad doing a great job though. Look at the speed of the young man through that centre section. 13 years of age. I was riding a bike when I was his age. This kid is peddling drift cars with some of the best in the world, and he is hanging with them as well, doing a great job. We can't see him coming through the smoke, but we know he's there, full commitment. Absolute no mechanical sympathy for that throttle or that engine, just full throttle all the way around that last corner. Great run from young Jihad. Man, 13, this is crazy. Drivers like that at that age, you know, it just shows the future of this sport will be strong. Jihad doing a great drive, such aggression he drives it as well, so let's see what way the judges will score this one.
من أين يخرج الأبطال أجيال تتبع أجيال يشهدها OIDC.
Okay, so we're getting ready to go back to the line, and up next it should be a fresh X Nissan Z. Deir Idulion driving this one. So we see a cool drone shot of the Muscat Drift Arena. One of the best locations in the world for drifting. Not sure where Deir is. I do see some marshals there at the top of your screen running in. There is something in the middle of the track. I don't know if that's still a bit of Ibrahim's grill. I don't think it was, so it'll be interesting to see what it is. Okay, so I'm just getting worried that we've marshals just fixing a few things on the track. So we will be going to our next car very, very shortly. I think I see Deir lined up, alright, but he still hasn't entered the burnout box. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here.
الشاشة في مسقط أرينا هذا المضمار الجميل الذي يشبه الآيس كريم.
Okay, so I'm going to have to apologise because my phone is lit up here because when Mike makes a mistake, everyone's going to jump on it. Young Jihad there from Libya. I said it was an A90 Supra. That's what's down on the sheet. It's actually a GR86, so I do apologise, especially as a Toyota enthusiast myself, you know. But yeah, shout out to everyone that texts me there. You're legends.
أشرقت وأنورت بهت الرواحي قطر الدرفتنج. أهلا وسهلا بكل الأبطال وبكل الحضور وبكل الضيوف. مضمار الدرفتنج الوحيد في العالم الذي شهد هبوط طائرة كان هنا في الجولة الأولى وسجلت التاريخ بأن هذه الساحة وهذه الحلبة هي الوحيدة والأولى في العالم التي شهدت هذا الهبوط. ماذا يعد؟
Okay, so we see an amazing drone shot there of the paddock. Unbelievable drift paddock. Standard of cars that's in that lineup in the centre, and standard of drivers that's in that paddock. It's just crazy. So we still see Demir sitting at the top. He's not entered the burnout box, but he is there, so not 100% sure. Looks like the marshals have the track clear. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. This is it, guys. I'm on an island by myself. I am seeing what you're seeing, okay? We're going to assume and put 2 and 2 together, and hopefully we end up with 4. If we don't, sure, look, I'm not good at maths anyways. A very busy paddock there now. See everyone standing around watching the big screen. Waves from all the crew. They realise they're up on the screen. And we see Demir sitting at the top there anyway, so he's in the car. The car's ticking over. It's just obviously something, whether it's technical issues or what's going on, I'm not 100% sure, but look, when they're ready, they'll send them to the burnout box and then we'll know. OIDC pulling out all the stops this year, man. It's great, it's unbelievable. Like, it's stacked with talent. Like, really is. I was looking through the sheet earlier on. There's 63 drivers here. 63 drivers going for a top 32 is insane. We can have another top 32 with everyone who doesn't qualify nearly, you know? And the talent that is there, like, no one's going to get an easy run to Battle Action tomorrow night, so it's going to be crazy to see who makes the cut. That's the way I look at it. What battles we'll be getting. Usually later on tonight, you're sitting there flicking through Instagram, the grid or the battle sheet will come up and you'll be like, oh yeah. And last round, round 1, the top 32, I mean, we had like 4 or 5 finals in the top 32. So I'm just super excited to see what happens, what the drift gods give us. But look, while we're on this bit of downtime, I would like to thank the people that bring you OIDC and make this all possible. So a big shout out to everyone at the Oman Automobile Association and Shell, Red Bull Mobile, the Minister for Culture, Sports and Youth and Muscat Knights. Thank you so much for your support in the 2026 season of OIDC. This is definitely one of these moments that I would love to know what's going on, but I'd be the last person to tell. Bottom of the totem pole, as to say. So yeah, we are still live anyways. We're just going to have to sit and wait. Hopefully someone at least comes down and tells me what's happening. Okay, so I just sent a message to see what was going on, and I've told they're going to start back now. So I don't know what the problem is, but I know the solution. We're going drifting. That's the main thing. Or someone was definitely lying to me, because we definitely didn't start back. I can't even hear Demir in the burnout box, so that'll be kind of my, once I hear a car warming up, we're just going to go. So my apologies for the delay, but trust me, it will be worth it. Right, I can hear a car in the burnout box. So, it's going to be another weekend of assumption. I'm assuming we're going to start again. And I'm going to assume it's Demir, and it's going to be one of these beautiful fresh XCs. And it's going to be a good run. That's my prediction. As we see Demir warming up underneath the unbelievable OIDC 2026 sign. How cool does that frame look? Demir just getting heat into them front and rear tyres there, scrubbing them off. I was fully sure he was coming out that time. No, he's going for one more figure of 8. No, he's going for 2 more of them. Here we go. Demir is making his way through the arch back to the start line. Still don't know what that delay was about, but anyways, it's over. Deir Idulion is on the line. Fresh XC. What can he do on his second qualifying run here at round 2 of OIDC 2026? Let's go. Demir leaves the line. Big snappy initiation, throwing it in. Very fast, very wide is Demir. Putting the back wheel right out on that outer zone. All the way around. That's a nice job there from Demir. Tucks the bumper on the wall. Near perfect from Deir Idulion as he makes his way into the second outer zone. Back wheel right out on that whiter line. What a dive on the wall through his own smoke. This is a good run from Demir. We see him pushing that car all the way around and over the finish line. He's definitely going to be happy with that one. Just watch the replay of Demir. Locking the front brakes, but on full throttle, just trying to control the rear of that car, pushing it out a little bit wider and on more angle. Precision driving at its finest. That wall over there, boom. Just keep that drone in that spot, don't move. It gets it perfect from that side. I am going to go find the drone lad after this and tell him. So an 87.7 from Demir. He is going to be delighted with that one, but we are going back to the line, and up next it is Mohammed Al-Muzani, E92, crazy build. Let's see what the guy from Saudi Arabia can do. He's pumped. Didn't have the best first run. Looked like the car was fighting him on initiation, so let's see how Mohammed gets on here. So we just wait on a bit more of Tamir smoke to clear. You can see it there from that angle. The first corner is nearly blind, so we want to give Mohammed. Okay, comes up, away goes. Mohammed leaves the line. Big flick, throwing it in. Oh, it's just a small bit early. He does keep it moving, keeps it sliding, but missing that first one there completely. And oh, washes very wide there. That's 2 wheels out. And how did he not make the contact with the wall? He did very good to avoid it there, but yeah, fortunately for Mohammed, just getting it all wrong. Car looking like it doesn't have much grip in it. Seems to be wishy-washy a bit too much, doesn't it? Every time he lets off, it just slides off, so I'm not sure what's the issue there. Mohammed completes the lap anyways. There's big snap. The one power just shot him inside the circle, so he's obviously going to be out wider in that zone. And from there, he just puts him on the wrong line playing catch up. That angle, I thought he was going head first into the wall. A 31.7, look, he puts the score on the board, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough to get into battle action tomorrow night here at OIDC. Okay, so back to the line, and it is Jack Shanahan in borrowed car. Jack Shanahan back in a Sylvia. 91.7 on his first run, so definitely something big, spectacular and wild coming up. I'm telling you, if he's seen these backwards entries he was doing into the first corner and onto the rear wall clip earlier on in practice, really hope he does something like that, because it was class. Jack drove all around the world, one of the top drivers in the world, him and his brother Connor. So yeah, let's see what the older Shanahan can do. Jack leaves the line. Big snap to angle from Shanahan. He puts the foot down now, doing a great job putting that rear wheel right wide, lifting the inside wheel as he comes through. Look at this angle from Shanahan. Wow! Puts the front of that car right on the wall. Such bravery, such confidence in Jack Shanahan as we see him now filling that outer zone near perfect. Probably about 3 seconds too early to that camera switch, but it's still an unbelievable wall run. As we see Jack Shanahan coming around and a massive 360 to finish it off. What a run from Jack Shanahan. Watch this. Watch the drone shot of the inside wall clip. Watch. There was, you barely put a piece of paper between the front of that S15 and that concrete wall. Such bravery from Jack, but I do not expect anything less than bang, out rear one, puts the back of the car straight out to the wall as well. A 93 for Jack Shanahan, he's going to be pumped with that one. Improves on his first run, 2 runs in the 90s, that just shows you Jack is confident in that S15, and that is a dangerous combination if you ask me. Okay, up next it is Andreas Lia representing Sweden. Mark 4 Supra. Unbelievable. Nearly 1,000 brake horsepower under the bonnet of that Supra. And man, on a mission as well. Andreas just says, I want to get to the top 32. That's his goal. He just wants to get to the top 32. And he put a good run in his first qualifying run, so I'm excited to see what happens. Look at the focus and the concentration in the eyes of the Swedish driver. As we just wait a bit more of Shanahan's smoke to clear. Okay, clicks it into gear, away he goes. Andreas Lia leaves the line for his second qualifying run. Screams at his 2J as he makes his way down. Nice initiation, getting lovely and wide into that zone now, putting the back wheel lovely and wide all the way around it. As we see him smoking that first corner out of it, puts the front bumper straight to the wall again. Yes, that is what we came to see. The transitions now lovely and wide, lovely and early, getting nice and deep into that second outer zone, pushing his way back through the middle. Oh, back car on the wall, yeah boy. All the way around the third zone. This is not a bad run from Andreas Lia. Boom! Another 360. There we go. Everyone's starting to feel it now. What a run. What a run. Watch. Same again as Shanahan. Man, there's nothing between the front bumper and that concrete wall. There. Oh, yes. That is what we came to see. Beautiful run. Sorry, I'm just sitting here enjoying it. Kind of forgot I was commentating there for a minute. Such a nice run. And an 86, he's going to be pumped with that one. We move back to the line, and up next it is Moyad Al-Muzani from Saudi Arabia. Lazy Sylvia. V8 supercharged. Let's see what he can do on his second run. Moyad leaves the line. Away he goes, the roars of the V8 as he makes his way down the straight. Huge snap to angle. Not too deep in that first zone, but he does a good job. Screaming V8, puts the front bumper right to the wall yet again. That drone angle is perfect. Perfect. So you see him now transitioning out. Not too deep. He did do the early transition, but not get too deep in the clip. Can he bring the back of the car to the wall? Yes, he does. We see Moyad now just dropping 2 wheels there, just in that last outer zone before he came over the finish line. But that is another run in the bag. Watch that. Look, I could look at that drone shot all night long, just putting front bumpers to concrete walls. 71.3. We'll have to wait and see if he will be in battle action tomorrow night. Round 2 of OIDC. There's where it kind of just went wrong, dropping 2 wheels. Yeah, right, heading back to the line. Up next it is Arturs Miskins, E36 BMW V8 Latvian driver. Let's go. Arturs leaves the line. Throwing it in, nice initiation. Oh, what? Ended up on the inside of the track. Not even sure how that happened. Maybe he tried to do the initiation without a dab of the handbrake, but just got a small bit wrong. Ends up dropping the wheel there, clip 2, but does a good job on the inside clip 2, to be fair. So you see him now over rotating 3 wheels off there. That'll be a heavy deduction. Unfortunately for Arturs, this run not going according to plan, you'd say. He definitely had different aspirations for this run, so. Latvian driver, a little bit too shallow. All went wrong from the start. Kieran Hines designs these tracks for one line and one line only. When you're wrong there, it pushes you wide here. Look, once the drone shot goes out wide, drops the wheel there. Does a good job to stay on the wall. And then when he transitions just here, ends up too wide too early. Well dropping wheels before that zone. So a 45 came in there as a score. It is a score on the board for him. I'm not sure if it will be enough to get him into battle action. We're going to have to wait later on. I don't have the live scores in front of me. No one has the live scores in front of them, so we're just going to have to play the waiting game. Right, back in the line. Another Latvian driver, another E36. Alvarez Lekinis. V8, supercharged. Very common setup around here. Let's see how Alvarez gets on his second qualifying run. Alvarez leaves the line. Nice initiation, getting lovely and wide. Can he hold it? Has to dial off a bit of angle there. You see the steering straighten up, but he does keep rear wheels in that zone as he pushes all the way through. Nice and wide for that second clip. Right onto the wall. Nice! As you see him now, very fast, snappy transition. No handbrake at all. Just foot brake. Doing a good job there. Will he bring the back foot to the wall? Yes, he does. As we see Alvarez doing a nice job on his second qualifying run here. It'll be interesting to see what way the judges score this one. There, that's one of the biggest mistakes. We did very well, just dialed off the steering angle a small bit, more throttle, kept the car sideways and in that zone. Bang, wall run. Boom! 78.3 for Alves. He's going to be pumped with that. Man, he came in there with such speed and angle and aggression, and it was really interesting to watch. Brilliant runs, he pushes his way back through the smoke. Right, back to the line. Edgars Kus, F22 BMW, brand new build for OIDC this year, and man, he is so comfortable in it. Let's see how the Latvian driver is going to get on. Edgars always comes out to Oman with the top of the range cars. His cars are just perfect, near perfect. Like, I actually love looking around him. Such a nice guy, him and all his team. So he's a fan favourite out here in Oman. So let's see what he can do. Qualifying here tonight. Run 2 about to kick off right now. Kus leaves the line. Huge weight transfer coming in. Is Edgars, can he hold it? Yes, he can. Not too deep in that zone, but does a good job to keep both wheels in it. So we see him full throttle now, making his way around, lining up for the inside clip. Near perfect front bumper on the wall. Snappy transition back, right out to that white outer line, exactly like the judges asked. As we see him coming back through the centre section, dab of the handbrake in the decel zone. Out to the wall again from Edgars as he brings it around the last zone. This is a good run from Edgars Kus. Kebab Fighter is back, and he means business in OIDC. Beautiful run there from Edgars. An 84.3. That snapped the angle there for the first transition. It was epic, just full commitment, just bang bang, using every inch of that lock kit in the F22 BMW. 800 brake horsepower in that V8. Okay, we're back to the line. It is Saeed Al-Salah representing Jordan, E46. Let's see how Saeed gets on. Away he goes. Nice initiation for Saeed. Filling that first zone. Green neons inside the car just look class, if you ask me, but I get distracted too easy as we see him lining up for the front bumper to the wall. Perfect. Can he get nice and deep into outer zone 2? He does a good job now, gets ready to transition into the decel zone. Back of the car, out to the wall, straight through that clipping point and into the last outer zone. Doing a good job here is Saeed as he brings it around and over the finish line. He's going to be happy with that one. I don't think he's going to stop. Saeed doing a great job there on that second qualifying run. Such commitment there on that first transition. It was full angle start to finish. 85.3, that's not a bad run at all. We're getting ready now to head back to the line, and up next it is Nasser Arharali from Jordan. E36 BMW. Let's see how Nasser can get on. Nasser leaves the line. The screams the C36 as he makes his way down the straight. Initiates a bit too early, missing that first zone there completely. Ended up a small bit on the inside of the car. He's going to have to stomp on the brakes now to try and get back online. As we hear the pops and bangs coming from the anti-lag, but something went wrong there. Not sure if he missed the gear or whatever. I seen him downshift to try and keep that going, but a bit of straighten there in the first transition. See him come back now for the wall. Screams this car as he makes his way around the last corner. Flames shooting from the bonnet, and he brings it over the line. That will be a 0 for this straighten. Here, wasn't it? Yeah. Scrub straighten and reinitiated. So it will be a 0. This is the judging criteria here this weekend at OIDC. Okay, so we're back on the line, and up next it is Anas Al-Hello from Jordan, E46. Concentration 100% in that cockpit. Duct tape holding the back of the car together, that's what I like to see. If it can't be fixed with cable tie and duct tape, it can't be fixed, lads. Remember that. Anas leaves the line for his second qualifying run. Big weight transfer. Nice job there. I thought he went a bit early, but he does a good job to hold it all the way through that zone. Nice job here from Anas. So he puts the foot to the floor now, bringing it through that first corner, lining up for the inside clip on the wall. Nice job there. Flicks back now. Very fast, fluid transition. Out lovely and wide. Nice and early. And then we see him bring the back of the car out to the wall. As he enters the last zone now, doing a good job. And give the clutch kick, keep it going. The car just starts to bog down in the last corner. Don't know what happened there. So close to being a very good run, but that last little hiccup in the last outer zone will probably reflect in the score. He died off a lot of angle and left the zone early. Deir should get a big clutch kick, keep it going. She straightened up a bit and she did well to keep it sideways. Okay, up next, representing Ireland, it is Adrianne Wheatley in this beautiful PS13. Thumbs up. She is mad to qualify. All she wants to do is just qualify for battles at OIDC. That will be a dream come true. She has the ability in her. See the marshals come up now. Marshals come up to talk to her, not realising that she's sitting on the other side of the car. It's very confusing here. Left-hand drive and right-hand drive cars. So, but Adrianne Wheatley leaves the line for her second qualifying run. What can she do? She makes the way down. Big handbrake drag. Nice initiation, getting nice and wide in that first zone. We see her putting the foot down now. Absolutely, listen to that Jay-Z screaming. She makes her way through. Oh, beautiful job through that second clip, right out to the wall with that front bumper. No fear in damaging that beautiful PS13. She transitions back now, not too deep in that second last zone. She lines up for the centre section. Big flick out to the wall. Yes, she does. Back bumper right onto the wall. Lovely and wide, filling that last outer zone again. Adrianne Wheatley here to make a name for herself in OIDC 2026. And what a run. That was absolutely epic. But is it enough to put her into top 32? Pretty sure she qualified like 35th or 36th at round one, just narrowly missing out. So will she be able to punch up that order a bit more? Great driving. An 80-point run, that is brilliant. Absolutely delighted for her, well deserved. But I still am not sure if it's enough. I don't know where to cut off. I've no live scores. We're in this together, guys. We're all going to have to wait till the end. That's it. Okay, Ali Al-Shahani's back. The big bad bazooka is away for his second run. This thing, I don't know if he's driving it or it's driving him, but today it seems to be working. Oh, bazooka comes on the power. Car shoots to the inside. Shahani just getting it a small bit wrong there. We see him trying to dial back in the line, making his way for the inner clip. See Shahani now. Man, this thing is so aggressive. The floor is shaking underneath my feet. Is Ali Al-Shahani. Pushes lovely and wide. Gets ready to flick back. Don't know what that green box on the screen is. So you see Shahani doing a nice job in that last outer zone now, filling it near perfect all the way around and over the finish line. Not a bad run from Ali Al-Shahani. Probably this initiation. Watch here when he comes on the power. The grip. Boom. Car just shoots forward. Grip, power, torque. That's what causes that. Yeah, Ali Al-Shahani, one half of the Shahani brothers here, representing Oman. Not a bad run. Don't know if it's as good as his first one. 64.3 on his second run, so we'll see if he'll be joining us later on. Tomorrow night, should I say. Action. Okay, we're heading back to the line. Khalifa Al-Hashi, representing the UAE. This young man, he's not a kid anymore, 17. I'm going to call him a young man from now on. Is definitely gelling with this car. Lap after lap, turbo V8. Pretty sure it's about 750 LS3 turbo, like, good combination. Look at the focus in the eyes. He wants to get there. He wants to push into that top 32 for tomorrow night. Just want to wait on a bit more of Shahani's smoke to clear. And then we're going to send Khalifa off the line.
والفندق خليفة الملاسي هو يقف على بداية المسار ينتظر إشارة الانطلاق بعد جاهزية الطريق ليقدم آخر بلدين في هذه الليلة.
So we're still waiting on a bit more smoke to clear. Just make sure there's good vision in that first corner. That's good enough, says the marshal. Thumbs up from the driver, and away he goes. Khalifa Al-Hashi leaves the line. Fast initiation down. Huge snap to angle there from Khalifa. Doing a great job. Look at the speed of him through that first zone. He is moving at some pace. 186 definitely been pedalled using all 750 brake horsepower as he comes through the centre section. Huge snappy early transition. Great job there from Khalifa. Nice and wide through that second outer zone. This is going to be a good run from the young man from the UAE as he comes through the centre section into the last outer zone. Lovely and wide yet again. Foot to floor. Listen to the screams of that V8 as he brings it over the line. There we go. Young Khalifa absolutely killing it in the second qualifying run. Great job there from Khalifa. And the speed of that young man around that track. Good pace, like, so. Be interesting to see what way the judges score this. An 83.7. He's going to be pumped with that one. We salute you, Khalifa. Great run. Right, back to the line we go. Up next, it is Yousef Papwit from Saudi Arabia. Unbelievable A90 Supra. This one is an A90 Supra. Can confirm. So let's see what Yousef can do on his second qualifying run. Another one of these drift cars that you look at and go like, it's like real life Forza. It's like just perfect. It's perfect. Yousef, a crazy driver behind the wheel, always puts on a show. He's pumped. He's not even acknowledging the camera. He's like, let's get this over with. I don't care about the smoke. Send me into that first corner. Okay, thumbs up from the driver, thumbs up from the marshal, away he goes. Or not. Now he goes. Anti-lag is switched on, and there we go. Right, Yousef leaves the line. Immaculate A90 Supra, throwing it in. Big snap to angle. That was a lovely initiation there from Yousef. Doing a great job putting the back wheel right on the outer line. So you see him fighting his way through. Lovely through that clipping point too. Tucks the nose to the wall. Flicks back for the first transition. Lovely and early. Will he get wide for the start of the zone? Yes, he does. Maybe dropping just one wheel before the end of the zone there. Transitioning again for the last time. Through the decel zone. Out to the wall. And into that last zone. Puts foot to floor. Smokes the Muscat Drift Arena out of it. And brings it over the line. Yousef Papwit representing Saudi Arabia. What a run. Just watch this replay. Such good run there from Yousef. 79.7. He's going to be delighted with that. So we're going to get ready to head back to the line, and up next it is Hussein Misami. Literally got no practice today. Heating issues, thought the head gasket was done in the car. Him and his team worked all day long, got it fixed. His first run on the track was his first qualifying run, so big pressure on the second run. He did get a score on the board, but he needs to improve to push himself up that order. What can Hussein do in this C6 Corvette? So many Corvettes on the grid this weekend. He's sitting there eager, just watching, ready to go. Thumbs up from the marshal. Hussein leaves the line. second run of the day, and it's his second qualifying run. Big snap to angle there from Hussein on the power, nice and early, doing a good job filling all that outer zone. You see him now make his way around the first corner, hits the rear clip too, perfect, hooks the nose for the inside clip, nice early transition. See Hussein now trying to do whatever he can to keep maximum points from the judges. See transitions into the decel zone, back of the car, out to the wall, and enters into the last corner, and just a little bit shallow to start of that zone, gets out there for the second half of it as he brings it around and over the line. Fair play to him, no practice, no one in days when everything's going wrong. You always root for these guys, I do want them to do well. Let's see what way the judges are going to score this. And at 65 for Hussein, he's going to be delighted with that. No practice, come on, give him. Right, we're heading back to the line, and the next car is already on the line. He's leaving the line. It is Lionus Yansu, one half of the Swedish Drift Brothers. Another guy got no practice, loads of clutch/gearbox issues. That box was out earlier on today. But Linus doing a great job. Seems the car's working now. Huge, snappy, fast transition. His brother Victor was driving this car around one. Linus says, I'm going to drive for the second 2 rounds. Neither of them own the car. The cars belong to Nasser Arharali. It's his practice car in his old 350Z. Given out to his good friends, the Swedish Drift Brothers. But yeah, Linus just doing whatever he can to survive. I'm not sure. I haven't been talking to the guys after to find out or figure out how that ended up. But earlier on, they were thinking it was like, I didn't even know. The input shaft might have been vibrating. There was a few things I couldn't figure out. So hopefully it's sorted. Is that enough? No practice at all for Linus. A few wheels dropped here and there. 59 on the scoreboard for him. Swedish Drift Brothers just coming over here for a bit of fun. Okay, we're heading back to the line. It is Robert Babagulian, V8 350Z, really cool looking car. See how Robert gets on in his second qualifying run. Thumbs up to the camera. He's pumped. Love the look of this, see. Really, really nice car.
التأهيلية الأولى لابد أن يرفع بابا جوليان بمستوى النقاط حتى يتأهل يوم غد 77 قد تكون.
Just waiting a bit more of Linus's smoke to clear. We're still waiting on a bit of Linus's smoke to clear. I'm sure Robert has a nice clear track. Same visibility for all drivers, that's what we want here. Thumbs up from the marshal, thumbs up from Robert, away he goes. Big weight transfer, snap to angle. Wow, Robert, what an initiation. Where did that come out of? He puts foot to floor now on the front brakes, tucks the back foot right out to that white line, nose to the wall, snappy fast transition. This is exactly what we want to see from Robert Babagulian. As he puts the foot down, bringing it through the centre section one more time, rear the car nice and wide out to the wall. On the white line, all the way from the outer zone. That was an epic run. Watch this initiation. Bang. Maximum angle straight away. Great job, fins that zone. Let's see what way the judges score this one. An 88.7, so they liked it nearly as much as me. And Robert's going to be. Okay, we're back on the line, and it is Ahmed Ham, our round 1 winner. And it is an on-form Ahmed Ham, if you ask me. He's back, and he's got a big spoiler on the back of the car, and it just looks so cool. It's really aggressive, like a touring car nearly. Unreal. Style is a big part of drifting. It's not judged. It doesn't get you any extra points, but it gets you mic points. That's all it gets you. I respect it. But yeah, Ahmed Ham, GR86, 800 brake horsepower. Wait till you hear the B58 screaming in this car. Good to see the Ham back on form. Always a dangerous combination when him and the car are in the right space. So let's see what happens with the Ham for his second qualifying run. Nice initiation. Through that first zone is Ahmed Ham. Puts foot to floor now. See him on the front brakes just to over-rotate the back a bit more. Maybe washing a small bit wide there at that second clip. Boy, he keeps it going. So much speed from Ahmed Ham. Making his way through, filling that second outer zone near perfectly as he comes back through the centre section one more time. Right out to the wall. Keeps the spoiler on the car. On the white line for the third zone. And brings it over the finish. Ahmed Ham. What a run. What a run. Just here, maybe initiation, not too deep at the start, but other than that, it's a good run. I'm just curious now, he's right on the change. I think he might have just dropped one wheel there. So barely, could be even half a wheel. See, look at this, the speed of that transition, just snap, angle, go. 81.3, judges like it as much as me. Okay, so back on the line, I can see a car leaving. It is Salam Marf representing Kuwait, throwing it in, LS7 twin turbo, 850 brake horsepower, and he is using all of it through that first corner. As we see him doing a great job there now, tucks the nose to the wall, absolutely brilliant. As we see Salam, unreal driving, right out wide on that line as he makes his way through the centre section, flicks back to the wall. This is a great run. Look at the flames shooting from both sides of the bonnet. This thing, when you see underneath the bonnet of this car, it is absolutely insane. It blows my mind, but it works. Oh my God! You will see it now! What? What came flying off there? Was it his bonnet? Was it the vent? I don't know what happened. Something went mad high in the air. I thought it was his bonnet when he did a 360 over the line. Yes! Round 2 carnage has begun, and I love every minute of it. 88.7, he is going to be pumped with that score. Come on, quick, show us what happened. Do your 360, come on. I think it was like the bonnet vent or something. His bootlet came flying off, that's what it was. Ah, that was crazy. Nice. Right, anyways, calm it back down, Mike. It's only qualifying. Ali Shawani, represent the UAC. My apologies. Represent the UAE in an IS 300. That actually turned into a bit of a tongue twister. Let's see how Ali got on. He had a good first run, showing up the love hard and a tea. So he loves your tea, whoever tea is. Or maybe he loves a cup of tea. He could be Irish. We're definitely going to have to wait on some smoke to clear. From Salam, that was such a good run, man. He had the whole place pumped. Okay, so Ali leaves the line for his second qualifying run. Nice initiation there from Ali. Drives the camera, just ends up in a little bit shallow start of that zone. Does a good job though, stomps on the front brakes, puts the rear of the car right where it needs to be. Now watch the on more angle, maybe. Oh, that was close. It was hard to tell from that angle if he dropped the wheel or not. Huge angle, using all the lock hit there as he throws it in that second corner, filling that second outer zone near perfectly. But can he bring it to the wall? Yes, he can. Does a great job there. Massive clutch kick, gets the car going again. Screams of it as he brings it around the last corner and over the finish line. Ali Shawani, that was a good run, my friend. That start of that first zone was probably the only okay bit. Didn't get too deep, not as deep as we liked him, but good speed, good commitment. I don't know if he dropped the wheel there or not. It's hard to tell from the drone angle. Obviously, the judges upstairs have multiple camera angles and have Wally, but it's an 80-point run for Ali. He's going to be delighted with that one. Okay, so we're going to go back to the line. Our next car is Waqar Saud. representing Oman, another Omani driver on the grid this weekend. New season, new car, jumping in the BMW E46 chassis this season from a Mustang, so I can only imagine that it's a good call. Well, yeah, let's see how Wokas what he can do here on his second qualifying run. There he goes, thumbs up to the marshal. Away Wokas goes. As you see him coming down the straight, big weight transfer. Oh, not sure what happened there, he just dialed on too much angle a little bit too early, ended up on the inside of the first corner. See him now trying to get back onto that qualifying line as he brings the front bumper right into the wall, transitioning back. Oh! He just had a little bit more luck. Just a little bit more luck, he would have held that, but unfortunately Wokas, he did a good job not to over-rotate it. But it just from that transition, it's all kind of gone wrong. He's ended up on the wrong line, really just holding on. And he throws the 360 at the end. Local Omani driver, the crowd goes wild. Salvage any points it could, but unfortunately it was a bit too late. Okay, up next is Mohammed Shiab, GTA 6 V8. Such a nice guy behind the wheel. Not the best first run. If my memory serves me correct, it's a very low score or a 0. Something went wrong at the first corner, so let's see how Mohammed is going to react with this one. See your star like Marshall saying, just wait, relax. Mohammed representing Lebanon. Thumbs up from Marshall. Away he goes for his second qualifying run. Big weight transfer coming in. Well, he's lined up for a huge snap to angle there from Mohammed. This is exactly what I was expecting in the first run. Right near perfect, out on the wide line, doing a phenomenal driver. Oh, beautiful job through them two centre clips as he transitions for the first time. Oh yeah, nice and wide. This is a great run from Mohammed Shiab as we see him now putting foot to floor, getting ready to transition again. Back of the car to the wall, coming through that last outer zone, lovely and wide, maybe just dropping one wheel there halfway around the zone, but he keeps it tucked and brings it over the line. Super fast, super consistent. Sure, I wouldn't expect any less. Brilliant run here from Mohammed, just looking back on an 87. The judges like that one as well, so he's going to be pumped. Just there, that's probably the biggest mistake I've seen halfway around that last zone, maybe dropping one wheel. Good run. So up next it is Dennis Miguel in another one of these fresh XCs. Okay, so Dennis makes his way on to the grid. Let's see what he can do in his second qualifying run. Okay, so away we go. Dennis leaves the line for his second qualifying run. Huge snap, fast initiation. Look at the speed of that Z through the first zone. Dennis absolutely pedaling that car. You see him now doing a great job keeping it between the white lines. Hooks the nose in, lovely, fast transition, very early as well. Gets him out nice and wide for the start of that zone. And he hold it as he flicks back for the wall. Does a good job on the wall run. Nice and wide coming into the last outer zone and bringing it around the final corner and over the line. Yes, Dennis Miguel, what a run. So fast. definitely see the speeds are picking up. Second half of qualifying. .79.3 in his second run. Okay, so we're going back to the line, and up next it is Ahmed Ramsey, representing Egypt, S14, 2JZ. I asked him earlier on how much power in the new engine. He said 800 plus and smiled. So I don't know if it's plus 50 or 100 extra. Could be 1,000 brake for all I know. 2 years drifting. He doesn't look it. Him and his cousin Karim, these two boys have took the drifting like ducks to water. Super excited to see what's going to happen with them this year. But yeah, Ramsey rebuilt that 2JZ in between round 1 and 2. He said there was a bit of issues, but now he's back, more power and especially more torque. So yeah, Ramsey leaves the line. Big snapped angle, washed a little bit wide there at the start of the scoring zone, but dials it back in. Look at that, one wheel right out to the white line, pushing all the way through. Lovely job there in that second outside clip. As we see him now transitioning very fast, very early on the front brakes. Just not deep enough to get into that second outer zone as Ramsey makes his way into the centre section. Nice and wide, out to the wall and into that last outer zone. Peddling that S14 around the last corner and bringing it over the line is Ramsey. We wait for the judges' score to drop in. There it is, 79.3. Where that puts him in the order, I don't know. That's, you know, it's okay, up next it is the Omani driver, Heam Al-Haididi. Makes his way to the start line. Heim had a phenomenal first run. Really enjoyed it. Can't remember what score he got, but I remember I enjoyed it. That's the main thing. So let's see what Heim can do on his second qualifying run here at round 1. Thumbs up to the camera. Okay, thumbs up from the marshal, thumbs up from the driver, and away he goes. Heim Al-Haididi leaves the line for his second qualifying run. His GoPro falls off. That is a common theme, and oh no! What happened there? That car looked like it just cut out on Heim, or electric power steering broke. Watch the front wheels just straighten up, bang. I don't know what happened there. That's the first car we've seen going into the wall in the 2026 season. Tries over, barely, but Heim and his team there will have that car fixed up. Really don't know what happened there. It looked like his front wheel. See, we're playing the assumption game. It could be electric power steering or something like that. Shut down, so then you go from having power steering to nothing when you initiate. But yeah, that was a very weird one there for Heim. Hopefully his first run was enough to secure him a spot. Not sure what the score was. We're going to have to wait and see. Yeah, it looks bad, but it's all fiberglass and things like carbon Kevlar and stuff. Only panels. It's all cosmetic damage, that's all that is. He went into 2 tyre walls there, so our OIDC track team are just down there fixing the wall right now. And then we will go back to the line, and it will be Karim Rashed, our second Egyptian driver, in his new car called Cairo with a K. Karim was revealed there last week to be joining the Drift Masters grid next year, heading out to Europe in this car. So after OIDC it gets a quick freshen up and then it's sent off. He said he's super excited. He's new enough to the drift world, but man, the things he's achieved in the last 3 years, it's insane. He's just, you can see it, even when you talk to him, he's always just like trying to pick and ask and learn, and you know what I mean. He's a perfectionist, so it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on driving in Europe. But forget about that. Let's see how he gets on in OIDC, because Karim was a man on a mission at round 1. And unfortunately, he went up against his good friend Ahmed Ham, and it was just clutch failure. So let's see what he can do tonight to secure a good spot in qualifying, get him into battles tomorrow. His first run was a good run. Thumbs up, concentration at full. We see Karim throwing it in, huge snap to angle, absolutely near perfect, all the way through the outer zone. The Egyptian driver absolutely pedaling it as he makes his way through, puts the front bumper right on the wall, absolutely fearless, huge, early, snappy transition, exactly like the judges asked, nice and wide through that second outer zone. Karim is doing a fantastic job here as he transitions out to the wall, into the last Zone 3, back wheel on the white line nearly every time. Anti-lag's going mad, and so is the commentator. What a run from Karim. That's, oh man, that's unreal. That snap to angle at the start. That's, Kieran Hines said it in driver's briefing, it's risk reward. You don't have to do it, but you will be rewarded for doing it. And Karim obviously paying attention, and he is rewarded a 92 on his second qualifying run. Man, he's going to be pumped with that. Right, have to calm back down. I promised myself I was not going to get excited in qualifying. I'm going to save it for tomorrow night. God damn it, driving like that just brings it out of me. I love drifting. Okay, up next it is Alan O'Loughlin, representing Ireland, 1.5 JZ, over 800 brake horsepower. Sounds amazing. Alan, he'll say to you straight out, qualifying's not his strong point. He always qualifies, but you know, he just makes it in. But man, you should see him in the battles. He comes alive. He's a beast in the chase. So really rooting for Alan here. Unfortunately, the car let him down. He didn't make battle action around 1, so he's a point to prove. As we see a sticker on the back of his bumper. The cameraman obviously likes The Office. But yeah, thumbs up from the driver. Alan O'Loughlin leaves the line for his second qualifying run. Big snappy initiation, does a good job, lovely and wide as O'Loughlin there through that first zone. The speed of this 180 SX as he makes his way around the first corner, heading up for that second zone. Nice, puts the bumper right on the wall, flicks back, does a good job, transitions early, lovely and wide. Will he keep it wide in that zone? Halfway around, does a good job. Brings the back of the car out to the wall, some speed from Alan O'Loughlin. As we see him on the front brakes, make sure the rear of that car gets as wide as possible through that third outer zone, and he brings it over the finish line. I really hope the sound of this car comes across on the live stream, because it just sounds amazing. Alan O'Loughlin doing a great job there. And he gets an 87 on his second run. Boom. And he tells you he's not good at qualifying, huh? I think he's lying to me. Okay, so we're getting ready to go back to the line, and up next is another Omani driver. It is Riyad Al-Masabi. So let's see how Riyad gets on. New chassis this year. Last year he was in his Mark IV Supra. This year he's in a 370Z V8. You know what? Some car this is. Good go. His car just has good go in it. Definitely. Another lad. See, I went around trying to ask these lads, but everyone's kind of keeping their cards to their chest. What power is it? Everyone just said, it's around 800 brake. Well, I think some of them were just telling little lies to me. This is it. Man on a mission, leaving the line. Let's see what Riyad can do on his second qualifying run. Throwing it in. Very aggressive, very fast through that first zone. On the front brake all the way is Riyad. You see him now tucking lovely that rear clip, puts the nose of the car perfectly on the wall. Big, fast, snappy transition from Riyad as he gets out lovely and wide early into outer zone 2, doing a very good job here as he gets ready to flick back one more time, lovely and wide. Oh yeah, that's a nice run there from Riyad. We see him bringing it around, filling that zone. and over the line. A 360 to celebrate because he's happy with that one. Nice run there from Riyad. At 81.7 on his second run. He's going to be pumped with that. Omani drivers representing hard this weekend at OIDC. Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow night. Standard of drivers going into this top 32. It's going to be amazing. And I don't even know who's qualified yet. Right, we're back on the line. Up next, it is Daniel Maximoff. This crazy... No, the graphic guy got it wrong. So Daniel missed his first run, but he's here for the second run. So let's see what he can do. S15. Took the supercharger off it from last year, left it NA and said, you know what, it's much better NA. There we go, there's the proper graphic on the screen. So let's see. Let's see how Daniel gets on. He leaves the line. Away he goes. This is literally his first run. He missed the first one, so a lot of work to do on one run. Nice initiation there from Daniel, filling that zone. Look at the speed of that S15. Maybe leaving out of zone 1 just a little bit too early. So we see him now lining up for the inside clip. Doing a good job there as he transitions very fast. Oh! Maybe a little bit too fast there now, if you ask me. Unfortunately for Daniel, just tried to go for that snappy, fast transition and it not paying off. Not what we wanted to see. One run to do it. A lot of pressure on the driver's shoulders, but look, we'll definitely see Daniel back for round 3 as he throws in an out 360 there before he goes home. But we'll see him back for round 3 next week here in Muscat. Okay, so our next driver up will be Sebastian Fontton. Sebastian, disaster round 1, top 32, head gasket goes, warped the head, cracked the piston, fully rebuilt. He had to go home to the Netherlands, brought the head home with him, got it rebuilt in the local shop, brought it back, got here on Monday, has slept 6 or 8 hours, they weren't sure, since Monday, been building this, car was on the dyno last night, and he is flying it today. So if there's ever someone you should be rooting for, it's this man, Sebastian Fontton, fan favourite here. Everyone loves Seb's driving style, but yeah, just a lot of work. Big shout out to him and all his team, Mike and George there, putting in a shift and a half to get that car ready for qualifying tonight. The stuff that goes on behind the scenes is the best part of drifting. But yeah, let's see what happens with Sebastian as he throws it in there, 90! Yes, Sebastian doing a great job there on initiation. Puts foot to floor, started to lift the wheel there as he comes through clipping point 2. Tucks the nose right for the wall. Sebastian Fontton can top qualifying on any day, and it looks like he's trying to do that here tonight at round 2 of OIDC as Seb is filling the outer zone near perfect again. Transitions back one more time, out to the wall. Sebastian Fontton doing a master qualifying line here tonight, filling the last zone, smoking the Muscat Arena out of it and bringing it over the line. Yes! That initiation there, boom. That's what we want to see. Just snap, angle, done. And an 87 for Sebastian Fontton. Well deserved. Him and his team are going to be pumped with that one. That wall run, bang. Fix the corner of the bumper. See the bumper hanging off after it. Look at it flicking down there. So he broke a cable tire too. Whew, right, settle back down now because up next it's Abdullah Hamada. New turbo this weekend, more power, more torque, still a crazy driver. What can Abdullah do on his second qualifying run here, representing Jordan? He was showing me this morning that splitter was broke off the inside clip of the wall. Shows you how far the splitter's sticking out and how close he was to the wall as well. But man, that BMW looks amazing. But yeah, Abdullah leaves the line for his second qualifying run. What can he do? Nice initiation, huge snapped angle yet again. filling that outer zone. Absolutely lovely as Abdullah making his way around the first corner. Tucks it lovely for that second clip. Nose on the wall. Yet again, snappy transition. Abdullah Hamada doing a great job here now as he comes into the second outer zone, filling it all the way around, smoking out the Muscat Arena. Dives back through, rear of the car on the wall. And look at this from Abdullah, right on the white line. He looks like a scale of electrics. He's on that much of a perfect line. That was unbelievable. Unreal. I am a big fan of this guy. Last year it was the first time ever seen him at OIDC. This year he's back and he's in beast mode if you ask me. And a 90.7, well deserved for Abdullah. We'll definitely be seeing him in battle action tomorrow night. Okay, we're heading back to the line. Up next, Ehab Fala, representing Lebanon, new build S14.9, V8 supercharged. Unbelievable car. Let's see, can Ehab pull a run out of the bag here and secure a spot in battle action? I'm not too sure what happened his first run, but remember it wasn't the best I've seen him do. So yeah, Ehab makes his way down. Snappy initiation, look at that. Puts the foot down now, listen to that V8 absolutely singing, using all 900 brake horsepower as he goes around the first corner. A little bit wide goes Ehab there, just pushed a small bit too much. Does a good job to avoid contact with the inside wall. Now he's on a snappy transition, smoking out the Muscat Arena. Lovely and wide for that second outer zone as he comes into transition. Back for the rear wall run one more time. Lovely and deep on the wall as he enters into the last outer zone, and just washes a little bit too wide does Ehab. Listen to the screams of that V8 as he pushes it over the line. Ehab, he was on such a good run. Just watch here. Fills this zone and then washes just a little bit too wide now. And then, whoa. Need to get in there. There we go. Does a good job not to make contact with the wall. A 68 on his second run, so we're going to have to wait and see if that will be enough. Back to the line. On paper it is meant to be the local driver Ali Al-Bushi. Did Lalu and his team get the car fixed? I am not sure. No, I'm pretty sure I seen a fresh XZ. I did. Very unfortunate for Ali Al-Bushi. Lalu, we love you here. Hopefully we'll see you back for round 3. So yeah, up next it will be Anatoli Sherbach in the third fresh XZ. Sherbach wanted to stand out this weekend, so he added a spoiler onto the back of the car, and you know what? It's a great addition if you ask me. Okay, so we have 8 drivers left in tonight's qualifying. Let's see what Anatoli can do. Big burnout, that's what he can do. No, not Ali Al-Bushi, unfortunately. Lalu not making it out. I think our graphic guy needs to learn the cars. Okay, look at the concentration inside that beautifully prepared Z. Let's see what Anatoli can do. He throws it in. Lovely initiation from Sherbach there. Doing a great job putting the back wheel really wide on the outer line as he pedals that Z through the centre section, nose into the wall, gets ready for the first transition. Nice snap, gets out wide early. Can he fill all that zone? Yes, he can. So we see him now putting foot to floor, ready to transition one more time through the centre section, back of the car to the wall, and out wide for the last and third outer zone as he brings it around the last corner and over the finish line. Anatoli Sherbach, what a run. What a run. Brilliant there, just watching the replay. So let's see what way the judges are going to score this. they base a run off criteria. I base it off excitement. But 87.7, me and the judges aren't far off with that one. What a run. Okay, we're heading back to the line. Up next should be the second of our Al-Shahani brothers. I just see a load of smoke and a car stopped there. Why is he stopped? Oh. So you can see the door just fanning, so that tells me he's after doing a crazy burnout, and now the car's full of smoke and he can't see where he's going. So yeah, Taruk Al-Shahani, the second Shahani brother, makes his way to the line for his second qualifying run. Let's see how he gets on. Just waiting on some smoke to clear. Okay, away he goes. Taruk Al-Shahani leaves the line. That's a nice initiation there from Taruk Al-Shahani. Look at that, back wheel right on the white line, all the way around that first zone. Look at the speed, look at the angle the Omani driver's carrying as he puts the nose of the car right on the wall. Huge transition, can he hold it? Yes he can, using every inch of that lock kit. So we see Taruk Al-Shahani now doing a nice job as he transitions one more time, nice and deep out to the wall. He enters into the last corner, one more zone. Oh, just rushing a small bit wide at the start of that outer zone 3, but Taruk Al-Shahani, that was a very fast and good run. There you have an 81.3. Judges liking that run as well. So we're going to move it back to the line. Our next car is there, and it is Clint Van Earth representing the Netherlands. Clint with an unbelievable first run. Super pumped to see him back doing what he does best. And that new livery on the car looks so cool. Boys in Swap Oman helping him out, getting it done when Clint went back home on the break between round 1 and 2. Big shout out to Rafat and all the boys helping everyone out here, especially all the international drivers. Every year they look after everyone, so that's the hospitality you get in Oman. It's just so cool. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen when the Dutch driver does his second run. Definitely going to have to let a bit of smoke clear. There is no breeze out there tonight now. The smoke is just sitting in the middle. Concentration in Clint's face. Thumbs up from the driver, thumbs up from the marshal, away he goes. Clint Van Earth leaves the line for his second qualifying run. Huge snap to angle. Yes, Clint, that was absolutely epic. Drops one wheel, but I still loved it. As we see him now putting foot to floor all the way around. Lovely job in setting Clint behind. Puts the bumper right to the wall. How did he not make contact with that wall? As we see Clint now transitioning. That's some speed, some angle, using all the lock kit, pushing through that second outer zone as he makes his way back to the middle. Massive dive along the wall from Clint Van Earth. This is what we expect from the Dutch driver. Absolutely epic. Listen to that 2JZ screaming its neck off as it goes over the line, and a fast 360 because Clint knows that was a good run. Oh yeah, boy. Man, I promised myself I wouldn't get excited, but with driving like this, how can you not get excited? Clint Van Earth put on a masterclass, a 90-point run, well deserved for the Dutch driver. Yes! Right, calm back down, mate. There's only 5 more left, and every one of them at some point has been a champion of a championship somewhere in the world. So. Woo! Up next, the lunatic, that is Nasser Arharali, representing El Salvador. Burst my eardrum last night by bouncing the shock off the limiter at the street parade. But Nasser promised me, he says, when I'm angry, I drive so much better. And he says he's just really angry today. So I'm excited. His first run was unbelievable. I texted him and said, lad, you should be angry the whole time. So let's see what Nasser can do. He promised me he'd do something special. So, you know, the last run was a brilliant run, so I'll accept that as something special. But part of me is like, it's Nasser. He always does something. 370Z, V8. Listen to the noise of this shock. Makes his way down. Massive snap to angle. Puts the foot down now. Filling that outer zone 1 as he makes his way around. Hitting up clipping point 2. Back of the car near perfect. Puts the front of the car and clipping point 3 right on the wall. Huge transition. Locks the front brakes. Rotates the back a little bit more. Pushing it all the way out to that white line for outer zone 2 as he makes his way through. Back of the car on the wall. This is some run from Nasser Arharali as he's starting to fill the outside zone 3, coming around the last corner and pushing it over the line. Yes, Nasser. Unreal driving. This is what we tune in to see, and this is only qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till tomorrow night, and these guys are going head-to-head in battle. It's going to be an epic night of drift. Drink of water there, and that's what really killed me. Okay, so we're heading back to the line, and up next it is Benediktas Sherbach representing Lithuania. Mad Sherbach on the back of the spoiler, and to right, one of the nicest looking drift cars on the grid. Brand new build this season. He only did like 4 or 5 laps before he put it in the container, sent it to Oman, and it was in the wet. Sherbach has really gelled with this car. Look at the concentration in his eyes. I am super excited to see. He's happy with the visibility. The smoke is cleared enough for Sherbach. Let's go. Mad Sherbach leaves the line. Listen to the JZ screaming as Sherbach puts foot to floor there now, filling that outer zone near perfect, working his way all the way around, out lovely and deep for clipping point 2. Nose of that car right on the wall. No fear of damaging the new build from Benediktas Sherbach as he transitions super early, super fast, near perfect through zone 2. Back wheel on the line, one more transition, out to the wall from Sherbach. Can he hold it for the last zone? Yes, he can. Puts foot to floor on the front brakes, smokes the Muscat Drift Arena out of it, and Benediktas Sherbach has done a whopper of a lap there. Oh, we're down to the nitty gritty, yeah boy. Ah, Sherbach, my man, what a run. An 87.3. I obviously like that one well more than the judges. That was a 1,000-point run in my eyes. Such a nice looking car as well, and performed unbelievable for a fresh build. Credit to him and his team. Right, we're heading back to the line, and you can see in the background Tommy Kiley is warming up. So Tommy Kiley ended up in 2nd place at round 1. And he was really going well in practice earlier, but I don't know what happened. I'm sure I'll find out later on, but unfortunately he snapped in too hard on initiation in his first run and just over-rotated the car. So, Kiley on a 0. 1 run to secure a spot in the top 32. Doesn't even entertain the camera. Oh, he does kind of. But, just be ready. If there's a button to turn on beast mode, it is turned on inside the cockpit of that beautifully prepared 180SX. Tomas Kiley, nearly 1,000 brake horsepower, leaves the line. Big flick in, nice initiation from Kiley. You see him now on the front brakes. Look at this. This is what we were expecting from the first run from Tomas Kiley as he smokes the Muscat Drift Arena out of it. Nailing clipping point 2 near perfectly. Bumper on the wall near perfectly. Snappy, fast, fluid transition from Tomas Kiley. Lovely and wide. Out. Filling that outer zone. Dare I say, is Tomas Kiley going for top step in qualifying tonight. Spoiler knocks the cones off the wall. Yes, Kiley, as he fills outer zone 3. This is what we came to see. Tomas Kiley stepping it up one more time, proving he is one of the best drivers in the world. Yes, Kiley. Unreal. Someone please have a good shot of him taking the cone off the wall. The drone shot, you know, it looks cool, but it won't do it justice. A 95 from Kiley! Wow! That is pure class. That's what that is. That shows you how you rise to the occasion. Knocks 2 cones off the wall there. It's like his party trick. He was doing it all last year. But yeah, Tomas Kiley, take a bow, man. That was unbelievable. Ah, woo! Okay, we got 2 more cars left, so I'm just going to stay excited because we have Ahmed Lamry and Ali Maxid still to go. Two boys that can top qualifying on any night. They've just seen what Kylie's after doing there. What is Lamry going to do? Thumbs up to the camera, probably one of the happiest man in drifting. I've never seen him not smile. Oh yeah, Lamry leaves the line, representing Oman. Throwing it in. Nice initiation, huge angle, right out wide on the white line. Near perfect start to this run from Ahmed Lamry. As we see him coming through the centre section, bumper on the wall, transitions for the first time. Oh, this is going to be a good run from Ahmed Lamry. Another guy that has clicked beast mode on inside that cockpit as he transitions one more time out to the wall. Yes, Ahmed Lamry stomps on the front brake. Look at that! Near perfect run from Ahmed Lamry. He has barely put a foot wrong in that whole lap. Come on, judges, just get the score in. I need to know. What is that going to be scored as? Look, right on the white line, nearly all the time, all the way around. Phenomenal driving there from Ahmed Lamry. And 95.3! 95.3! He just got 0.3 more than Tommy Kiley. What is going on? Ali Maxid must be sitting there going, ha, it's my time to shine. Ah, yes. Yes. Oh, what a night in Oman. What a night in Oman. Unbelievable driving from everyone. And ladies and gentlemen, this is just qualifying. Some would say it's the boring part of drifting, but we got to do it to figure out who's going to battle who tomorrow night. Well, we have one car left, and it is our 2025 champion, Ali Maxid, representing Kuwait, GT86. Even though it says on my sheet a Toyota Supra, but that's definitely not a Toyota Supra. This thing was on the dyno about an hour before we went live. We were over in the driver's briefing, heard this thing screaming. Map sensor failed earlier, changed it out, and Ali was like, no, put that in a dyno now. Blessed the facilities here in Oman to have a dyno in the paddock, you know. But yeah, his car's working, Ali's working. Dangerous combination when the two of them get together. So let's see what Ali Maxid can do. Okay, he leaves the line for his second qualifying run, throwing it in. Nice initiation there from Ali Maxid. Same thing with Kiley, same thing as Lamry, right out wide. These boys are going to be fighting hard for this top step in qualifying, but Ali Maxid doing a great job there through the intersection. Flicks back. Will he get out wide, fill that zone from the start? Doing a nice job now as he transitions for the last time. Out to the wall, can he hold it? Yes, he can! Brilliant job there from Maxid as he finishes out the third outer zone and brings the car over the line. And what an ending to qualifying at round 2 of OIDC. Ladies and gentlemen, you just watch some of the best drivers in the world go at it, and wait till you see what happens tomorrow night. Ah, yes! And it's a 90, another phenomenal high score. That is what we came to see. Pure class from Ali Maxid. Unbelievable driving from everyone on the grid. This has just been a pleasure to call this qualifying. Definitely, I've used about 6 bottles of water here and I've lost about 6 litres in sweat because I've got well too excited watching this, but who cares? This is what we're here for. This is the fun. This is drifting. This is OIDC. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it here for tonight. You will get the qualifying results very shortly on all OIDC social media, so make sure and check it out. My name's Mike Gleeson. I will be back tomorrow night and we are live at 4:10 Omani time. Okay, so do your, wherever you are in the world, figure it out. 4:10 we are back with the top 32, and if qualifying's that to go by, I promise you it's going to be a show to remember. Good night, guys.
بالتوفيق ان شاء الله للجميع المتسابقين المشاركين اليوم راح نعرف ان شاء الله نتائج المتاهلين على صفحات الجمعيه العمانيه للسيارات عمان اوتوموبيل اسوسيشن وايضا واي دي سي اوفيشال راح تعرض بعد شوي ان شاء الله بعد انتهاء جميع جميع النقاط. بالتوفيق للجميع. احمد دعموس انت بطل، شكرا لجهودك اليوم وبالتوفيق بكره باذن الله تعالى ان شاء الله. شكرا لكل الجمهور اللي معنا اليوم على وحيدا 8 ساعات وحيدا. وشكرا افضل معزومه في العدد. بفضل ما قدر يعزفنا ما شاء الله. الله يوفقك يا اخي. انت تمسك رياضه وتعليم رياضه المحركات. بالتوفيق ان شاء الله. ولكن ان شاء الله غدا في نهايات الابواب راح تفتح ان شاء الله الساعه 3. السباق راح ينطلق الساعه 4:10. بالتوفيق للجميع وليله سعيده لكم جميعا. هذا great time. See you tomorrow.
Ready for a surprise? The off-roader has evolved with hybrid power while inheriting its legendary toughness.